Is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Race against time, international travel, and relaxed adherence to protocols causing COVID surge in the country. Contact tracing to ramp up as vaccination effort expands. Health officials unsure which variant of COVID strain is present in the country today as the Family Island vaccination expansion to start Monday. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight, Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, is it volcanic ash or Saharan dust that's causing the hazy conditions we're seeing over parts of the Bahamas this week? We'll get into that this morning. And later we'll tell you about an autism benefit concert that's going to be held this weekend, which you need to know to be a part of that. And later in Morning Blend Business, we are talking about COVID and tourism and vaccinations, the impact all of this will have on the recovery of the tourism sector in the country. That's coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, new COVID-19 cases in the country are being driven by international travel and relaxed adherence to the health guidelines. That's according to Dr. Merceline Dalregis, the special health advisor in the Office of the Prime Minister. She said yesterday the Bahamas must return to heightened surveillance and contact tracing if we're going to win the race in the shortest period of time. Speaking yesterday during a national COVID-19 vaccine consultative committee press conference, she said, quote, to help control this, we must test, isolate, trace, treat, and vaccinate. Contact tracing is being stepped up on New Providence, Grand Bahama, and the Family Islands. All cases and contacts of cases must be identified to bring the spread of COVID-19 under control. According to the COVID-19 dashboards, 336 cases were reported in January and 335 in February. Data from the Ministry of Health indicating that COVID cases nearly doubled in March to 613 cases. Meanwhile, for April already, we've had 629 cases reported between April 1st and April 19th. The data shows that 1,913 new COVID cases were reported so far for 2021. Dr. Dalregis says that 9 new cases were reported on Monday, 8 in New Providence and 1 in Bimini. She says one of the cases was imported from travel. 46 people were hospitalized with COVID-19 on Monday, 37 in New Providence, 9 in Grand Bahama. The total number of cases we've seen in the country since the start of the pandemic now stands at 9,800. Dal Regis says the Ministry of Health is moving to accelerate its vaccination program throughout the islands. Dr. Dal Regis also confirming that COVID-19 variants of concern have been detected in the country. They've been actively monitoring genomic testing from March 13th through April 17th. The results, as reported by the National Reference Lab, are showing evidence of an increasing number of genomic deletions, and this is apparently indicative of variant strains. When asked if this meant that health officials had detected variants of concern in the country, of course, she said that definitely is strongly indicating that. National Reference Lab Director Dr. Indira Martin said that the Bahamas is awaiting final confirmation from the Caribbean Public Health Agency on these samples. As of Monday, the Ministry of Health will start rolling out COVID-19 vaccines on more family islands. The vaccine will be administered to all residents 18 and older with a Bahamian government-issued ID. Despite concern raised over COVID-19 cases in New Providence schools, Minister of Education Jeffrey Lloyd says that health officials have recommended continuing with the hybrid school system, which uses a combination of in-person and online lessons. In a statement yesterday, the Ministry of Education said that suspected COVID-19 cases were reported at 7 schools in New Providence: H.O. Nash Junior High, Sadie Curtis Primary School, C.R. Walker Senior High, Garvin Tynes Primary, L.W. Young Jr., Carlton Francis Primary, and T.G. Glover Primary. The statement says the surveillance unit also advised that 5 individuals, students, and staff members tested positive in New Providence over the past 2 weeks. And the ministry has not reported the existence of any cluster of cases in the public education system, nor of any connection between the positive cases that have been identified. As is the practice according to the ministry, following assessments of each situation, several students and staff members have been requested to enter a 14-day quarantine period, having been considered significant contacts of COVID-19 positive individuals. And 3 inhabitants of a school bus that had been converted into living accommodations in Dundas Town and Abaco arrested and discovered to be undocumented migrants. That's according to the Department of Immigration. Further investigation revealing that the men entered the Bahamas by boat only 4 months earlier. According to the Department of Immigration, on April 19th, a joint operation consisting of officers from the department's Abaco district and the Royal Bahamas Police Force and officials from the Departments of Housing and Environmental Health led to the arrest of the 3 men. An official complaint was lodged with the department after a video made the round school bus that had been converted into a dwelling home for suspected illegal migrants. According to the statement, the team investigated the complaint and found the 3 men, later discovered to be Haitian migrants, on board that bus. The men were taken to the immigration office in Marsh Harbor. The statement also noted that the trio arraigned in the magistrate's court, where they pled guilty to the charge of illegal landing and were ordered to remain in immigration custody. They were fined $300, and if they default on the payment, they'll be ordered to serve 1 month at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Overseas, after 3 weeks of testimony, the trial of former police officer charged with killing George Floyd ended swiftly yesterday, barely over a day of jury deliberations, then just minutes for the verdicts to be read. Guilty on 3 counts, Derek Chauvin handcuffed and taken away to prison. The 45-year-old could be sent to prison for decades when he's sentenced in about 2 months in a case that triggered worldwide protests, violence, and furious re-examination of racism and policing in the United States. The verdict set off jubilation mixed with sorrow across Minneapolis and around the U.S. Hundreds of people poured into the streets of the city, some running through traffic with banners, drivers blaring their horns in celebration. The jury of 6 whites and 6 black or multiracial people came back with its verdict after about 10 hours of deliberations over 2 days. The now fired white officer was found guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. In sports, the Tokyo 2020 organizers, the government of Japan and Metropolitan Tokyo, remain steadfast that the games will be held this summer. They will go on as planned, now set for July 23rd through August 8th, and still branded as Tokyo 2020, garnering significant unrest and uncertainty given the ever-present nature of the coronavirus pandemic and the rapidly rising cases of COVID-19 in the Japanese capital on a daily basis. Here in the Bahamas, plans remain on the table for full representation. Cora Hepburn, making history, is the first woman chef de mission of the Bahamian Olympic team, saying that yesterday that she and they are prepared to embrace the challenge of attending the games while at the same time ensuring the safety and well-being of all Bahamian athletes, coaches, and team officials. She's calling for Team Bahamas to rise to the challenge. So far, only 7 Bahamians have qualified for the Olympics. Read more about this in today's Guardian Sports section. Overseas from the NFL, Mike Tomlin wants to be part of the post-Ben Roethlisberger era in Pittsburgh. The Steelers Tuesday signing their longtime coach to a 3-year contract extension that runs through the 2024 season. Tomlin is 145 to 78 and 1 in 14 years, with the Steelers winning 1 Super Bowl and going to another. The franchise has reached the playoffs 9 times during Tomlin's tenure and captured its 7th AFC win in 2020. Tomlin saying in a statement that he was extremely grateful for his contract extension. The Steelers went 12-5 in 2020, winning their first 11 games before stumbling down the stretch, including a blowout to Cleveland at home in the first round of the playoffs. The team is in the midst of a mini overhaul, particularly on offense, after 2 assistants were let go and center Maurkice Pouncey and tight end Vance McDonald retired. Still, Roethlisberger restructured his contract to lessen his salary cap hit, a move that helped the Steelers free up enough money to persuade wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster to return on a 1-year deal. The extension likely means Tomlin will stick around for whatever happens after the 39-year Roethlisberger exits. There's no succession plan in place for the future Hall of Famer, though. Tomlin opting to sign the extension means he intends to be part of the process whenever Roethlisberger calls it quits. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. And in your weather, we've got another severe weather warning this morning. This is for western and central Grand Bahama. A severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8 o'clock this morning. According to the Department of Meteorology, radar and satellite imagery depicting a cluster of showers with embedded thunderstorms moving eastwards across this area. Western and central Grand Bahama is associated with a stalled frontal boundary that's located just north of the extreme northwest Bahamas. Some of the thunderstorms will be severe at times, causing strong gusty winds, dangerous lightning, heavy downpours, hail, and possible waterspout or tornado activity. Localized flooding is also possible during these storms. As we said, it's part of a stalled frontal boundary just north of the area, expected to migrate through the extreme northwest Bahamas as a cold front by this afternoon. Elsewhere, a dense plume of Saharan dust will continue to blanket the islands today. Mariners and residents in the northwest Bahamas are asked to exercise extreme caution due to the risk of waterspouts and tornado activity and the possibility of reduced visibility in the entire country due to the presence of that Saharan dust. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, your forecast calls for mostly cloudy, hot, and hazy conditions with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas today. Mostly fair and warm with a chance of a few isolated showers tonight. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft operators should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, but falling light and variable at times, seas 2 to 4 feet. For the central and southeast Bahamas today, look for partly to mostly sunny, hot, and hazy conditions, fair and mild tonight, Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable at times, seas 2 to 4 feet. Already up to 80 degrees right now in Nassau. Look for highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 74 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. It's time for break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We are on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Good morning, Chester Robards.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's get you up on the main mic there. Yep. Good morning. There you go.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
We missed you last week.
Yes.
We thought you were coming,
Yes, I thought I was coming too.
but then something happened.
I got the 1-2 punch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to tell us about that?
You want me to talk about it?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. Yeah. Got the vaccine.
That was what, Tuesday?
That was Tuesday. And I woke up Wednesday morning with every possible side effect you could have. And it was about close to 48 hours that I felt it. And then,
So tell us about some of them. What were some of the?
well, I woke up with chills.
Oh.
And a headache. And I had the muscle ache and back was hurting, leg hurting. Felt like the flu.
Yeah.
Without all the sniffles. And so I took the recommended Panadol, and my wife told me to take vitamin C, so I did that. And took 48 hours.
Yeah. And no issues since then.
Nope.
Yeah.
Feel fine. I was literally back to normal after the 48.
So what are doctors telling you about the second dose? Is it likely to have the same reaction?
That's what I'm hearing. I have friends who took the first dose, and they were fine, and then the second dose, knocked them down for a while.
Yeah.
And for some people, it was the reverse. The first dose they had all the side effects, and then the second dose they were fine.
These friends, they were all AstraZeneca?
No.
Others,
I should
not
say,
just,
yeah.
not just AstraZeneca.
These were some friends in the U.S.
So
who had
Pfizer.
Pfizer. Yeah.
Okay.
But it did the same thing to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Wow. Boy.
But like you mentioned off air just now, I know some older folk. Well, actually, my sister went the same time as I did on Tuesday. She had no effects at all. Headache, a little headache, and that was it. But yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Glad to hear that you're okay. And we're hearing this from a lot of people and younger people as well, though. They seem to be the ones having the most adverse reaction to it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there is something to that.
Yeah, my mother's husband, he didn't have
Right.
any kind of reaction at all.
We have a loyal listener who called, last week, 83, I think she says she is, and took it nothing at all.
Yeah.
And but it's people, it seems to be 50 and under that are having the same symptoms that you're having after taking it.
I don't know. Yeah. One of my old English teachers, he got knocked out pretty
Yeah?
bad.
So I guess there are exceptions.
Yeah. I don't know
There are
what-
exceptions. But anyway,
what
glad to
happened
hear
there.
that you're doing
But I
well.
saw him walking yesterday.
Yeah?
He looked fine.
So he's fine.
So, yeah.
So, okay, that's good. We were worried about you, and,
Thank you. I
'cause-
appreciate
Yeah.
I appreciate
But,
that. How long did it take?
We talk before the show every morning, and so I'm like, what's happening with you? And then you said you don't think you are, and then it was checking on you the day after, and you still were a little out of it.
Yeah.
But wow. But anyway, glad to hear you're doing okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, they tell you to expect it.
Right. And no regrets.
And no regrets.
No regrets. Okay, that's wonderful. We're going to be talking about COVID a lot today. I know some of you are going to groan about that, but hey, it is what has gripped the world for 2 years almost now, and it is impacting us in every single way you can think about. And we are seeing the numbers rise here. What we've seen so far this month is what we had last month for the entire month. We're only on the 21st day now. And this is very scary. And that what we saw last month was double what we've been seeing in January and February. So something is going on. Some people seem to be scared to say or afraid to say third wave, but clearly that is what's happening. And yesterday, at a very important press conference, we got some possible explanations as to what's causing that. So let's officially begin what's happening in the news. So the big headline of the NASA Guardian, race against time, international travel, and relaxed adherence to protocols being blamed for the COVID surge. And contact tracing to ramp up as a result of all of this. This was all discussed at a press conference yesterday with the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee. And for more on this, take a look in Gray.
As COVID-19 cases in the Bahamas continue to surge, the Ministry of Health is confirming the detection of variant strains of COVID-19 in the country.
There is evidence of an increasing number of genomic deletions, which means that this is indicative of variant strains.
There have been 120 positive cases tested for variants over the last 5 weeks. In mid-March, 20% of the samples surveyed showed signs of variants, but 80% of the 44 samples surveyed last week showed variants, a stark increase that officials are concerned about. While the reference lab has only used a screening test to analyze variant genomic sequences consistent with the 3 more deadly variants, they're hoping to find out within the coming weeks exactly which variant is in country.
The final confirmation for us will be when we get back the CARFA samples. We sent 10 CARFA samples off at the beginning of March, which happens to be around the time when it appears, based on the trend data, that these variants may have come into the country and kind of expanded. So, but once we get the sequencing data from those 10 samples back, that will tell us, number one, it'll help to confirm our approach internally, although we're pretty confident because it's being used ubiquitously throughout the world. So it will confirm our approach. And secondly, it will also tell us which of the 3 variants of concern is in country, or it might be more than one. Who knows?
That's important because even though all variants have increased transmissibility, the South African variant has proven to be more resistant to the AstraZeneca vaccine, according to The Guardian. While she says data shows that persons may be at least minimally protected if they get, Forbes agrees that the Bahamas must procure other vaccines.
We know that the AstraZeneca vaccine is partially effective. It's about 60% effective. But what's important to know is that even though persons can still get mild COVID symptoms because of breakthrough with that variant and that vaccine will still protect from severe cases and hospitalizations and deaths. So there is somewhat of a silver lining in that regard. But it would be important for us to continue to look at procuring other vaccines.
Creating a plan for these more deadly strains is especially important now as more and more people travel. Health professionals say the spike in cases in recent weeks is due to international travel, particularly to the U.S., where these variants are detected.
New infections are being driven by international travel and a relaxed adherence to the health guidelines.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jillian Gray.
All right. International travel and relaxed adherence, plus new variant strains. Just a lot to deal with, a lot going on.
Who's international travel?
Well,
Ours?
yes, yeah,
Bahamians?
I'm sure it's part of it. People traveling and coming here. So either people who don't
Just
live
in
here
general.
and coming in, and
Right.
or people going abroad and coming back. Either way, the open borders
Right.
are contributing to it, and relaxed adherence to protocols. Which, I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to know this. You don't have to be a doctor to know that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? People are traveling to the hottest spots or visiting from the hottest spots. And as we always talk about, not just weekend, every day, you will see people playing dominoes, people out at liquor store,
Oh, yeah.
people masks hanging out of their pockets only.
Yeah.
Right? This is common,
Yeah.
a common sight every day. So not surprising at all.
And even though the outdoor restaurants are outdoors, people are still kind of in close proximity.
Yeah.
You come with your friends
That's
who
right.
don't live in your house,
Yeah.
and y'all having dinner and brunch.
And you know that friend just came from somewhere traveling last week.
England.
Or worse,
Or worse,
right? You know this. That's what you all are having lunch for, to talk
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
trip.
yeah.
So yeah, it's happening.
But they tested negative
yeah.
to get back into the country.
Of course.
They haven't had their 5-day yet.
Well,
This is where it all goes wrong.
yes. And sometimes you're hanging out with your friend who's visiting for the first time.
This is true.
Right? So it's a lot of that going on. So as we said, a lot. What now?
Huh?
What?
No.
Is that
No,
what?
no.
Okay. A lot of that going on here, and so there's no one that we can blame. It's a lot for everybody. Everybody has contributed to where we are, and as people have said, they are tired. They want to live their lives.
Yeah.
Some are prepared to take the chance, clearly, and some people are getting comfortable as well because they've taken the vaccine.
Vaccine, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the knowledge of the vaccine, it seems
Right.
people are like, oh, okay, we're getting there. I'm going to cool it
Yeah.
with some of the things.
I
you
think
know?
somebody called yesterday and said, if you get COVID, just go get the vaccine. No.
it doesn't work that way.
That's not how it works.
They won't even give it to you if you tell them you
I
tested
hope not.
positive.
Because we're hearing cases, right? People saying they've come down with full-blown COVID right
Yeah.
after taking it. So maybe you had it before.
Yeah.
And wow, what do we do? The numbers are rising. They're saying contact tracing. I know somebody asked about that yesterday. Are they even doing it? Of course, to ramp it up, and that's what they're saying. They need to ramp it up because you remember how it was before, and people were saying we didn't need to do that, and we don't need to do that. But you heard somebody has COVID, and the whole place shuts down. You got to shut it down and sanitize. That isn't happening much anymore.
I think the science has come out against a lot of things like that.
Right, yeah.
Like washing your groceries when you get home.
Yes, we don't
Those
need to do
things.
that anymore.
Yeah.
And I suspect some people aren't sanitizing the way they used to, or even...
Well, that still needs to be done.
That still needs to be done, or washing their hands as frequently as they were
Right.
a year ago this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if somebody in the office has COVID, nobody's freaking out much anymore. You just get out of here and isolate yourself.
Right.
And we'll clean your area a little bit, and we'll be fine. Work will continue.
Right.
But are people, as we were wondering last year, still being honest about where they've been, who they've been around? Are they telling the full story?
Yeah.
And are those people admitting that I was around somebody who's now COVID positive? So a lot to talk about, a lot to think about. Let's hear from you. What do you make of this, the variant issue? And we keep hearing about that, the effectiveness or lack thereof of certain vaccines against new variants. What are we doing? Is this all for naught? Or do we still need to push on with the direction we're heading with the vaccination program? 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's get your views on it. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Mr. Strachan, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, good morning.
Just how are you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Mr. Strachan, I mean, some great news, you know. I mean, because people will blame payments, international travel. Okay? I mean, highlight that too, okay? You all like it. I mean, people blame international travel, okay?
Yeah, that also means Bahamians traveling internationally.
Mr. Strachan. Like yesterday, right? I mean, when they come home, they test negative, right? Pardon me?
Yeah, and then 5 days later you might
No,
not.
Mr. Strachan. I mean, why you always insisting on them payments, though? I mean,
I'm saying it's everything. It's everything.
Mr. Strachan.
Yeah.
Another thing to it. I mean, Charles Seeley. I mean, this African committee, but this home and stuff.
Now, how do you get to that though? We're talking about COVID. Who's talking about the home?
That's news.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
Hey, Mr. Strachan, sometimes. I mean,
Nope. That's not what we're talking about. And you really do need to stop calling people's names, especially when we're not talking about. I don't know what's happening with you. I really don't understand it. What is up with you? Can you not call people's names? Just say, hey, this committee, what's up with the people of the committee? Why? But we weren't talking about that. We are not talking about that right now. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. I mean, what are you going to do? If you don't like the names of the committee, I'm not going to apply to go and live there because of the names of the committee? Well, what's the issue?
Yeah,
what's happening?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
The committee is too F&M. I can't. Nope, not living there. Okay, well, good for you. Good luck. Find somewhere else. I don't understand. What is it? All right. So international travel means to you, that means only that's only foreigners. That's what that means.
To whom?
To that caller. Just
yeah.
Not to you.
That seems to be what he's saying.
Let's see if we can find it specifically what they're talking about when they say that, right? All right. So imported from travel. One of the cases of the 9 from Monday, one was imported from travel.
Okay.
What does that mean exactly?
But they don't say if it was a Bahamian or a foreigner.
No.
Right.
Okay. All right. Travel, open borders. That's the thing, whether it's tourists bringing it in or not. And then what if it is tourists only? What does that mean? What do we do? Right? So, yeah, let's say it is, although I don't think it is. It's not clear that it is. I'm sure it's not. But let's say it is. What then? What are you going to do? Oh, it's only Americans bringing it here, so don't worry? Or do we need to shut down the border? What are you saying? It's still a problem.
It depends on how prevalent it is, I would think. I mean, you have to expect that 1 or 2 cases are going to slip through. I mean, that's the world we're living in at the moment.
Yeah.
Right? We're not going to 100% wipe out COVID-19. And I think we've come to grips with that. So if 1 or 2 tourists test positive while they're here, because they got to go through a lot of rigorous stuff to get in the country in the first place. I mean, a PCR test, the gold standard test is what they need to get in.
Right.
Then they get to a hotel here, especially in New Providence, and then they have to test again, with a rapid. So I don't know what point, if they're here for more than 5 days, maybe they test again and test positive with a rapid.
Yeah, but we see that though, and that's not all that it is. We know that based on the dashboard where they talk about some of the people who test positive do have a history of travel, right? It's a mixture.
Yeah.
It's a mixture. And so we can't blame the travelers and we can't blame the Bahamians only. Travel is the issue, though. You've traveled, you're likely to run into encounter this.
Yeah, definitely. What I'm saying is the guests that come into certain places, especially big hotels, have a lot of screening they have to go through. Bahamians, I hate to say it, a lot of them, they come back home and they dodge the 5-day test. Yeah. They don't answer the daily 14-day questionnaire, which it's annoying. I've done it. It's annoying. You have to answer it every day. Wow. But it's necessary, right? Especially for contact tracing and those kinds of things.
Right.
And you have to answer truthfully. So those things,
it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
It is. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Morning, sir, and good morning to those who wake up in the land of the living. Dwight, what is so mind baffling or thinking about this is that how is it that every time when coming towards the numbers are going up, like say for instance, like now it's a third wave. Why is it? I wouldn't say why is it, but how is it that every time the doctors and the powers that be can come and say that basically the upscale in this COVID numbers to go up to the third wave is traveling? Now, I say that to say this. Why isn't it being proven the same way that you can say the numbers, you believe that the numbers are going up because of traveling? How is it that you don't come back thinking about any numbers when it comes to people frequenting the beaches? That's one example. My next example is...
They say international travel and relaxed adherence to protocol.
Okay, but listen, the only time you hear basically the escalation, sometimes, most of the times, is when they talk about international domestic travel to a point. But what I'm saying to you is that how is it that we don't have numbers or how could I explain this? How is it that we do not have these same numbers of speculations to the point to say that we use this as to say that the numbers have increased when it comes to campaigning as well? Dwight, listen, bear with me for a second. All I'm trying to say to you, sir, is that the numbers that keep going up, anytime it goes up, they always talk about the waves. When the waves goes up, it has to do something with travel. They don't really talk about people being frequent the beaches. And Dwight and Chester, I applaud you, my brother, for taking care of yourself. Though you took the vaccine, but I can tell Bahamian people this. I am not trying to avoid no one, Mr. Strachan, from taking the AstraZeneca, the Johnson & Johnson, whatever you want to take. But I will say this, that God has given all of us common sense, right? And common sense is when you have to rise up to the occasion, Dwight. Because at times your car might break down and you can't call a mechanic, you got to use your common sense. So in other words, we have all kind of bush, I'm not telling people I know doctor, I know bush medicine doctor, but it helping me and it helping a lot of other people. As long as God give me common sense, I ain't going on what it is. Laurel Hill, where's I ain't taking no vaccine, Dwight. I'm going to put my trust in the things that God has provided for me to survive in this country. So you have a blessed day, you and Chester.
Okay. All right. Save this show, April 21st, 2021. Okay. But again, they are saying, I don't know why you're singling out the beaches, but the relaxed attitude of people is contributing to the numbers going up. The constant parties, the events, the gatherings, all of it, the festive atmosphere that we've had for the year, all contributing to what we're seeing. And international travel. Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, could you ask the health authorities a question for me? Because they don't answer my calls. Just two questions. How many tourists entered the country for just 3 or 4 days during the spring break period? Next question is, they said there's data shows there's a new strain or variant in the Bahamas. Did this data come from the time they sent those samples off over a month, maybe 2 months ago? And now they got the results? Or
this sounds like a new
test that they did?
A new sample.
They sent a new sample away.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
No.
A sample from March 13th.
It actually happened.
A sample from March 13th through April 17th, actually monitoring the genomic testing from that period. And then that was sent off. So remember,
the sample was sent off between March and April 17th?
Mm-hmm.
And they got the results back?
No, they're waiting.
Oh, they haven't got the results back yet.
But it's heading in that. It looks like that's what it's going to be. They're waiting for the conclusive results.
Okay, we get mine.
Indicative of variant strains, what they've done so far.
Okay, but okay, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
But could you ask me that question? How many people came in just for 3 or 4 days?
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you want? Tell us why you want that answer.
All this is related to them saying there's a new strain, or that the reason why we have an uptick in positive cases.
Okay.
Those people didn't have to take a 5-day test.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And when you get your answer, what do you think is going to mean? That's how the numbers. That's how.
No, just something for me to know.
You just
all.
want. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All
right. Let's get to your text messages. We've got a lot of those coming in. We'll get back to the calls in a second. This one here, they sent it twice. They must really want to know, Dwight, when are you taking the vaccine? That's a good question. Very good question. This one here, I took the vaccine shot last week Wednesday, and boy, oh boy, all hell broke loose in my body. Chills, headache, body pain, eye pain, runny nose, allergic reaction. Man, I thought I was going to die. But I have a relationship with God, but I got even closer during that experience. Okay, well, that is good. I'm glad to hear that. And it seems like you're fine. You're texting, so that you must be doing much better. Great. This one says, oh boy. I had COVID and had chills, aches, and pains. In 48 hours, I was back to normal, just like the shot. I think you are confused, but okay. And they go on to say, let me give you a spoiler. COVID will not go away because we are literally trying to cure the common cold. That is not correct. Perhaps we should stop pretending like COVID is AIDS. For some people, it'll be like a bad flu, and for others, it'll mean the death of them. So it's not what you're saying. And if you're lucky enough to have experienced it for only a few days and are fine now, good for you. Other people aren't going to be so lucky. So that's why. I don't understand why people still can't see this. I don't get it. Anyway, another one here. I think we need to ramp up contact tracing. I know about people who made contacts with people who had COVID, and they still are moving about, so this needs to stop or it'll get worse. And also, those people need to be responsible as well. You heard that you've come to contact with somebody who tested positive. Get tested and isolate yourself for a few days. How about that? We could do that too. Be responsible, okay? This one here. My God, this is what my good life has been reduced to. Is it worth waking up for anymore? I don't know what you're talking about. Is it because we're talking about COVID? Well, okay. Didn't a hotel official admit last week that some guests are showing up to the hotel positive? Whatnot? Why haven't they given us numbers on the number of hotel staff who've been infected and who've died or had relatives die? They had a lot more to say before. Let's go back to their earlier text messages. I'm really baffled about the news that international travel is spreading the virus. From way back in the early 1900s, physicians realized that sailors were spreading the Spanish flu. What did they do? They kept the sailors on the ships for 14 days until they could determine they weren't sick. But us? Diagler was crowing about tourism numbers doubling, and not one person linked it to rising COVID numbers. And don't get me started on the COVID variants. Wasn't there a big news story from Reverend Wells last week saying there was no evidence of COVID variants? These people were strangers to the whole truth. From early March, it was clear something different was related to people who can't behave because they've been not behaving from before Christmas. But they big up 50 samples that take 3 months. I don't know if you meant to say big up. That take 3 months to process. What a bunch of non-smarties. Well, they've changed who they're getting these tests from, who they test, which lab they're sending it to. So hopefully it's now in the Caribbean and not Brazil. So hopefully it'll net results sooner, much sooner. A couple more text messages, then we'll get to that call. This one says, I don't care what they say. I still wash my groceries and sanitize like crazy. Asks Chester if they tested him and all of the other folks for COVID-19 before they were given the vaccine, or did they just go straight to the vaccination? Nope, they don't test you before the vaccine. They don't do that. Why? I don't know, but they don't. All right. I think the reasoning behind the CDC announcement was based on our public health care resources. It's quite obvious our hospital is filled to the brim. Discouraging international travel at this time is ideal. It's no time for leisure travel. I think it's the time now to look at a second hospital to accommodate the amount of people we have living and visiting here. Wow. We're going to talk a lot more about that a little bit later in the show. What do you do if you see numbers rising and tourism just getting back up on its feet? Is that something people should be saying at all? Stay tuned for that. Another text here. Okay. Unfortunately for me, the COVID update yesterday did not refer to booster shots, deal with the Stanford University report on the ineffectiveness of masks, nor give any information on our vaccine expiration date. Okay. Another one here. How long are we as humans expected to live in an abnormal manner? How long do you expect us to social distance? No timeline when this will end. And you wonder why people aren't checking. But the people aren't checking are the ones who don't want the vaccine. So, I mean, how will that ever get better if that's the way we're going to be talking? Let's take some more calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Buddy, I'm checking, and I don't want the vaccine. But I check in.
Okay.
I doing my social distancing and wearing my mask all over the place, buddy.
Very good, very good.
And what I'm calling about, I think it was 2 callers ago. I think the gentleman's name would have been Dwight, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. To help, I saw where he was going, and he supports the thinking that I have, and that is simply this. Where are the scientific analysis to demonstrate or to prove that our COVID rise is because of traveling? And if, Dwight, there's a scientific measurement used to determine that COVID is rising because of traveling, why is that same scientific measurement not being used in regards to the effect that the election campaigning is having? And if there is no scientific reasoning being used.
Okay, before you go on, JT, I mean, it's very simple. That you show up, you have COVID.
Yeah.
Have you traveled recently? Yeah, no. I was just in Florida. Okay. Yeah, the next person says the same thing. That's how it is. There's no real. That's how it is. Now, again, they are also saying it's because of relaxed adherence to the protocols, right? So, yeah, that does count as the campaigning and the partying and the whatevering. All of that is related. So people not socially distancing, so people not wearing their masks and washing their hands and sanitizing, and all of that is related. All contributing.
Right. And I agree with you because, when human beings congregate in any setting, anything can spread.
Yes.
Okay, so I got you on that one. But see, what I'm getting at is, if the politicians are going to tell you and me that they're using a scientific measurement to determine that traveling is spreading, why aren't they using that same scientific measurement to determine the same in respect to campaigning? And if they're not using it to across the board, my question is, I would be suspect of any report that's coming out there, because you can't use a scientific measurement to say the public is doing wrong, but you're not using the same measurement to say the politicians are also doing wrong.
I'm not understanding you, honestly. But I mean, so what are you saying? So on the forms that you fill out, do you have a history of travel? Have you traveled within the last 30 days? Have you been campaigning the last 30 days? Should that be on the forms as well? Oh, okay.
Obviously, the country has been in the campaign mode. But my thing is that you don't see the prime minister blaming his party or the campaigning for the spread of COVID-19. But you and me, who are reasonable thinking people, we can more than likely come to the right conclusion that the campaigning is helping to spread this thing. But they seem to be denying it or wanting not to accept that their campaigning efforts are also contributing to the problem. It's not just the general public who are traveling.
Okay, sure.
But
don't worry about that. Don't worry about them. They are delusional on almost everything. We know better. We know
okay, I'm glad you said that because you're right.
Yes.
The Bahamian public got more sense than them politicians got and that they give us credit for.
That's
really all the point I really wanted to make.
Okay, there we go.
Thanks,
We're
man.
back on the same page. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wonderful stuff. They won't admit it, but you know better. You know better. Let's take a few more calls. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Glenn.
Hi, good morning.
All right. I'm wondering, isn't there a travel ban for visitors from the United States, or I'm not hearing right?
Where?
No,
to the Bahamas?
To the Bahamas. They all ban. I think someone put a ban on traveling tourists come to the Bahamas.
Maybe to your house. I don't know where. We want them all to come, apparently.
Oh, no, I thought I heard there was a travel ban.
No.
Okay, no.
When?
Anyway.
What?
Huh?
Well, that was when? The day the Bahamas closed forever? I mean, I don't understand. When would that happen?
Okay, no, maybe I'm hearing wrong. But you know, I did hear this. I hear someone who wants to be a good leader claim that he would rather lose the election than to lose the Bahamas. Do you recall that?
I do.
Okay, well, you know what? He just might lose both if he continue down the path that he's going on. But I just want to point out something that's really, really, really disturbing to me, because I read in a book that most of us seem to believe in, that the leaves of the trees are for the healing of the nation. Maybe this is not a nation, because I do know a lot of us like to get our herbal on. But what message are we sending to God when we decide to get a chemical instead of what he's suggesting that we use? Why are we flying that in his face? Maybe he's going to punish us for not using the leaves. So what do you think?
I mean, do you know what's in the vaccine? It could be some of the things you're talking about as well.
Can't hear you, Will.
I mean, it could be some of the things you're talking about as well in the vaccine. Do you know every ingredient in the vaccines?
Well, I mean, I do know that there's a book that was written a long time ago claiming that you should go to the leaves and not the chemicals. Do you recall reading that?
That's what I'm saying. You don't know what all is in the vaccine, and then some of the things you're talking about could be in there too, right? So
also we have a medicinal vaccine. I didn't know that.
I'm not saying that it's what it is, but I'm saying it could be. It could be. I don't know all the ingredients.
Well, I'll look into that. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's take this final call.
Yes, good morning to you all.
Hi, good morning.
You know, I like to say is that, you know, we like something like we want our cake and we want to eat it too. You know, we are a nation that needs tourism to survive, right? So we definitely need the tourists, you know, and we're a nation without socioeconomic structures to sustain us in these tight times, you see? So we don't have it. You see, we want to be this capitalist society with no safety nets, you know, and as well as, you know, I want to address two others. Just want to say a couple of short things in this, you know, and then, you know, we have an issue, right, with fish fry, right? And you know, I don't know why in the world that we want to continue to allow the dock, the Port-of-Ski dock, the landing portion of it to be used as a bear shop or a restaurant. You see, and these infrastructure is very costly to acquire. You see, the difference between fish fry and it, right? And as well as I want to address the issue of the party and the votes. You know, we have island constituencies with 2,000 voters, and you have inner city and other constituencies in Nassau with 6,000 and 7,000 voters. Man, that's not democratic at all. You know, but nobody wants to address it. Seems like there's no honesty.
Well, they are trying to address it. They're saying they may have to add constituencies, so they are seeking to address it. I mean,
I didn't hear you.
They are seeking to address it. I mean, the committee, the constituencies committee is looking at adding constituencies, considering it. So
well,
it
they're
is
thinking about adding. They're thinking about adding a few seats in there. So they need to as well as combine some seats in the Family Islands. Nobody wants to address it.
I think all that is being considered from what we were hearing. So all of that is being
must. In other words, the constituencies need to be equal. If it's not equal, then we talk about human rights and things. I mean, we won't have the right or civil rights. We don't have a right to free and fair election. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I'll read a couple messages as we go to the break. This one here. Everything always comes back to politics. Politics is saying in the country how sad every little iota in this country is politics. Yes, that's how it's been. Another one here. I hope you all realize that the disparity between the vaccination rate in the U.S. and locally will expose us to an army of asymptomatic travelers while most of our population remain unvaccinated. Even if the entire local vaccination inventory is used up, we are going back to Christopher Columbus infecting the Arawaks with smallpox. Chris and his crew were quite fine. Well, that is
Kristen wasn't getting tested on the way in.
Well, that is true too, but this one says, okay, this one that's not right. That's not right at all. What you're texting there. But again, there are a couple of text messages coming in about that. The CDC has done this. I think they're saying it's about 80% of the world now. They are warning Americans about traveling too. So it's not just us, but hey, numbers are rising all over, including some parts of the U.S. And another one here. What's that one all about? The blame game continues. Yes. Okay. What's amazing is now everyone who has watched a few medical TikTok videos are all of a sudden experts on. Yes. Well, okay. And this one here. Because you've traveled recently still does not confirm that you've caught COVID from travel. People are on their best behavior when they travel because they want to have a negative COVID result to come back home. It's when they are back home knowing that they are negative is when the carelessness begins. Okay. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what we're seeing in the skies. Is it Saharan dust? Is it volcanic ash? Are we going to be impacted by what's happened in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? We're going to be talking about that after the break. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Old and in between, we'll remember COVID-19. World economies put to a test. This virus brought so much unrest. Folks, they look to the sky for intervention from on high. COVID-19, COVID-19. Oh, such a killing machine. COVID-19, COVID-19. An enemy that remains unseen.
Gran, it was good to see you, but we've got to get home.
Yep, we've got to let the dog out.
Speaking of dogs, you won't believe who I saw the other day.
Who?
Honey.
Remember Anton, Jeanette's oldest boy, the one with the dogs?
With local claims managers, we pay your motor claims fast. We're like a goodbye at your granny's that doesn't take 30 minutes.
We really got to get going.
So soon?
CG Atlantic Agents. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley.
We need repentance and accountability.
People poured into the streets after a jury convicted former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin of murder and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. The AP's Sagar Magani with the Floyd family reaction.
Remembering his brother's final words, "I can't breathe," Philonis Floyd says he can finally breathe.
and others can rest a bit easier.
Justice for George means freedom for all.
But Courtney Ross says this is just one case. Her boyfriend George received justice, but others have not.
We need to reopen cases. We need to re-examine those that have not been served.
At the White House, President Biden echoed her message.
It's not enough.
Still, he says the verdict can be a giant step in the nation's fight against systemic racism. Sagar Magani, Washington.
What now for Derek Chauvin? AP correspondent Julie Walker.
After the guilty verdict was read, Chauvin's bail was revoked. He was led out of court in handcuffs. His lawyer, Eric Nelson, following without commenting. Sentencing will be in 2 months. The most serious charge carries up to 40 years in prison. It's up to Judge Peter Cahill to decide. On Monday, Nelson asked for a mistrial, citing remarks made by Representative Maxine Waters about the outcome of the trial. It was denied, but Cahill said that could be grounds for an appeal. However, legal experts say it's unlikely. I'm Julie Walker.
Hundreds of protesters challenged police in Columbus, Ohio last night after officers shot and killed a black teenage girl who swung at 2 people with a knife, according to body cam footage. Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther is defending the officer to protect someone. This is AP News. And now for something out of this world. The AP's Tim McGuire reports.
NASA and SpaceX are about to take recycling to a higher level as a crew readies to head to the International Space Station. NASA Commercial Crew Program Manager Steve Stitch says a coming launch is on.
We're go for launch.
On Thursday morning, an international crew of 4 astronauts will board a previously used SpaceX Dragon capsule on board a previously used Falcon rocket for launch from Cape Canaveral to the International Space Station. Benji Reed of SpaceX prefers the term flight-proven.
Reused vehicles on flight-proven vehicles is key towards greater flight reliability and lowering the cost of access to space.
Each capsule is designed for at least 5 missions with a crew. The Falcon can be used 10 times for satellites. SpaceX and NASA are assessing how many times it can safely launch astronauts. I'm Tim McGuire.
And I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
Got your first look at traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. At this hour, we're seeing some heavy traffic on Smiley Butler Highway, northbound lanes, heading towards Tawny Williams Darling Highway. Traffic's backed up along Tawny Williams Darling Highway as well. Westbound lanes heading towards that same roundabout at this hour. Elsewhere, Gladstone Road looking a little bit better for you than Smiley Butler Highway, but still heavy the closer you get to JFK Drive in the northbound lane. Blue Hill Road northbound busy, north of Soldier Road. The northbound lane's heading towards Independence Drive. Independence Drive also busy westbound, heading towards that roundabout with Blue Hill Road. Carmichael Road seeing some traffic building eastbound towards Blue Hill at this time as well. And East-West Highway and near Soldier Road, that area is very congested. Northbound lanes mainly at this hour. Windsor Place also busy northbound heading towards Soldier Road. And elsewhere, Foxhill Road, traffic is building there, northbound towards Prince Charles Drive, the intersection there getting busy at this hour. And pockets along Prince Charles and the major intersections there. That's what we're seeing so far. We'll have another real-time report for you just after the 8 o'clock news. That's your Morning Glen Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. And we've got another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. Here's what's happening. We've got a stalled frontal boundary just north of the area. That's expected to migrate through the extreme northwest Bahamas as a cold front this afternoon. Elsewhere, a dense plume of Saharan dust will continue to blanket the islands today. Mariners and residents in the northwest Bahamas are asked to exercise extreme caution due to the risk of waterspouts and tornado activity, and the possibility of reduced visibility across the entire country due to that Saharan dust. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, we've got mostly hot and hazy and cloudy conditions with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms mainly across extreme northwest Bahamas, especially Grand Bahamas today. Mostly fair and warm with a chance of a few isolated showers tonight. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny, hot and hazy, fair and mild tonight. Temperatures look getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius for your highs. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 74 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, a series of frontal boundaries expected to pass in central islands with high pressure building behind them and supporting moderate to fresh winds across the area. Elsewhere, the Saharan dust is expected to weaken across the islands through Thursday. So for tomorrow, Thursday, look for mostly cloudy and breezy conditions with isolated showers in the northwest Bahamas, variable cloudiness and warm conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas. Friday, partly cloudy and breezy with a chance of a few scattered showers, mainly across the northwest Bahamas. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Rev. And basketball fans, if you haven't done it already, it's time for you to upgrade or sign up for Rev Trio. And then you'll receive NBA League Pass absolutely free. Call 601-8992 or email trio@cablebahamas.com to sign up. Rev, you and us together. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Traveling around the world, infecting men, women, boy, and girl, causing folks to quarantine. I'm talking about COVID-19. Coronavirus, you're a pest. You've got this world in a mess.
And we are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. In a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Wayne Neely. He's going to be here to discuss the volcanic explosion in St. Vincent, and what impact that will have on us, and about what we're seeing already, which we're being told is Sahara dust. Do you smell something?
Yesterday, I feel like everywhere smelled like barbecue. In the afternoon. I didn't smell it this morning, but yesterday I smelled it. No, just
now, yesterday was 420, Chester.
It sure wasn't that.
What's going on with you?
No,
Are you okay?
That's a distinct smell. I know that smell.
Barbecue. What type? Like
coals,
what
like barbecue coals, like old barbecue coals.
Like chicken or
no.
Pork.
Old barbecue coals. Like burnt out barbecue coals.
Really? That's what you were smelling yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know. Anybody else? Gee, is it just me?
Yes. That's the
right.
answer.
Fine.
Okay. Before we go to the news, here's a text. COVID, and it's like a mild flu, and you act like that doesn't count because a few might die. But when it is pointed out that a few people who get the shot get blood clots, you are like, you have to break some eggs to make an omelet. Anyway. Over 95% of the people who get the COVID vaccines reaction will be far worse than getting COVID. That is a fact. Oh, boy. Okay.
Far worse. Really?
I don't know what else to say to you. Don't take the vaccine. whoever you are. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. There are people who had no symptoms of COVID, and right, but there are people who had mild symptoms, and those people.
There are people who had the symptoms from the shot, but also had COVID, and
they can tell you
suffered through that thing for a week, and
they will tell you differently, right? So I don't know what's going on with you, but hey, that's how you feel. Thank you very much. We'll talk later. We'll be back after the news.
New data appears to suggest that contagious and dangerous variants of the COVID-19 virus are in this country and contributing to the third wave of the pandemic, which is underway. That revelation from the chair of the Vaccine Consultative Committee yesterday, who added that 80% of samples taken in this country showed signs of variants. They're just waiting to learn which variants. Jillian Gray has more.
As COVID-19 cases in the Bahamas continue to surge, the Ministry of Health is confirming the detection of variant strains of COVID-19 in the country.
There is evidence of an increasing number of genomic deletions, which means that this is indicative of variant strains.
There have been 120 positive cases tested for variants over the last 5 weeks. In mid-March, 20% of the samples surveyed showed signs of variants, but 80% of the 44 samples surveyed last week showed variants, a stark increase that officials are concerned about. While the reference lab has only used a screening test to analyze variant genomic sequences consistent with the 3 more deadly variants, they're hoping to find out within the coming weeks exactly which variant is in country.
The final confirmation for us will be when we get back the CARFA samples. We sent 10 CARFA samples off at the beginning of March, which happens to be around time when it appears, based on the trend data, that these variants may have come into the country and kind of expanded. So, but once we get the sequencing data from those 10 samples back, that will tell us, number one, it'll help to confirm our approach internally, although we're pretty confident because it's being used ubiquitously throughout the world. So it will confirm our approach. And secondly, it will also tell us which of the 3 variants of concern is in country, or it might be more than those.
That's important because even though all variants have increased transmissibility, the South African variant has proven to be more resistant to the AstraZeneca vaccine, according to The Guardian. While she says data shows that persons may be at least minimally protected if they get the jab, Dr. Nakia Forbes agrees that the Bahamas must procure other vaccines.
We know that the AstraZeneca vaccine is partially effective. It's 60% effective. But what's important to know is that even though persons can still get mild COVID symptoms because of breakthrough with that variant and that vaccine will still protect from severe cases and hospitalizations and deaths. So there is somewhat of a silver lining in that regard. But it would be important for us to continue to look at procuring other vaccines.
Creating a plan of more deadly strains is especially important now as more and more people travel. Health professionals say the spike in cases in recent weeks is due to international travel, particularly to the U.S., where these variants are detected.
New infections being driven by international travel and a relaxed adherence to the health guidelines.
For the Guardian News Network, I'm Jillian Gray.
Well, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is set to give a COVID communication in the House of Assembly today. We expect to learn then what changes to travel or COVID restrictions, if any, his government is prepared to make to slow the current outbreak. Finally, acknowledging we are experiencing a third wave of COVID-19, Health Minister Renward Wells yesterday suggested government is considering following the same playbook which got the country through the second wave of the pandemic. Kyle Joaquin has that.
From this minister's perspective, informed by the Prime Minister, at this stage, there's no intent of the government to move in that direction.
Amid growing concerns over how the government would combat this third wave of COVID-19 cases, the health minister says a lockdown or any other tightening of restrictions is not on the table at this time. However, he said something has to be done. For now, he said the plan is to follow what was done in the second wave.
There are no other restrictions at this point in time, as I would have said previously. That does not mean that they're made up, because the response in regards to any sort of restrictions and even just a change in the curfew time frame would be a change in the existing protocol.
April's number of confirmed COVID-19 has already surpassed the number recorded in March, which Wells says appears to be linked to the Easter holiday. He added that there has been a series of meetings with health officials and the Prime Minister on the way forward. But as for what exactly the plan is,
in the past, we are aggressively contact tracing, as we may beef up the contact tracing a little bit more. Again, we are testing. We have the bed space, we have the ventilators, we have the therapeutics, remdesivir, and we during this third wave, something we didn't have during the second wave. We have what most folks consider to be a cure for what ails us, which is the vaccine.
Wells says over 20,000 Bahamians have gotten their first dose of the and he says plans are in motion to get the Pfizer vaccine as soon as is available to the country.
We do have ultra-low temperature storage in the Bahamas, in the private sector. The government expected that we would have already had the freezers. We're expecting them here very, very soon. And we will be in a position from the government side to house them. But we're also in a position from a national standpoint to house Pfizer vaccine.
But the issue remains the increase in cases. Consultant Physician Staff Association President Senator Butler has said the country is set up for disaster and said the rise in cases needs to be addressed urgently. We asked the health minister about that today.
The CPSA in September gave us I have the recommendation in my bag. I've read through them. The Ministry of Health professionals, of which who are part of the CPSA, are in the Ministry of Health. Okay, so their views, their values are being taken in.
For the Guardian News Network, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Health officials confirmed 9 new cases of COVID-19 on Monday. They also reclassified some 347 cases where the locations were previously pending. And 77 cases to New Providence's total count of infections, which is now at 7,126. An additional 50 cases were assigned to Grand Bahama and 15 to Eleuthera. There are currently 406 cases in this country. Health officials also confirmed that to date, more than 21,000 Bahamians have been vaccinated. In other news, a mother recounted the loss of both of her daughters during Hurricane Dorian. It was the latest tragic inquest into several suspected deaths believed due to that storm. Jared Higgs reports.
17-year-old Jendaya Edgecombe and her sister, 8-year-old Maisha Edgecombe, called their mother from Calvary Baptist Church in Marsh Harbor when water started they were staying at. That was the testimony of their mother, Caroline Edgecombe, who told the court that her instructions to her older daughter were to not let out of her sight. The sisters were picked up by their father and taken to the shelter the night before Hurricane Dorian. Mother says there were other children at the shelter that she knew her 8-year-old would enjoy playing with. The sisters were picked up by their father the night before the storm. The still grieving mother says there were other children at the shelter that she knew her 8-year-old with. At one point, though, and with the storm inching closer to Abaco, Edgecombe found herself watching her 8-year-old's favorite show, prompting her to invite them to return home if they wished. Sadly, they did not. Edgecombe testified from Abaco via Zoom. She says she got a call from her 8-year-old about the water rising, and that was the last she heard from the girls. Edgecombe herself was caring for several elderly women during the storm and had to escape to the government complex herself. But it would be the difficult days after the storm that would reveal the woman's full loss. She told the court that she confronted her husband days after asking where her daughters were. She says he shook his head and broke down in tears. The mother told coroner Janine Weech Gomez that a man who lives near the church the girls were sheltering at found their bodies next to his home. Edgecombe never looked at them herself, but she says she was told by mortician Denali Penn-Mackey that they were recovered and in the morgue, that her husband never explained what happened to the girls, only saying that he called out for them, swam around, and there we haven't spoken about the girls since September 2019. When asked what she believes happened to her daughters, Edgecombe replied she didn't submit a DNA sample because every time she went to, they couldn't get their act together. Missing persons were released to the public in October 2019. Also testifying was Sergeant Nelson Bolton, an officer stationed at the Marsh Harbor Police Station during the storm. He told the court about the difficult search and rescue conditions on the island during and after the storm. During the post-storm search, the officer testified that he stepped on a nail through his boots while wading through water. That wound would cause his foot to swell and he contracted a fever. Bolton and his family were eventually flown to New Providence where he received medical treatment. Doctors in the capital told him the side effects he experienced were due to an infection from with human feces. Bolton broke down at points during his testimony, describing discovering bodies of persons fatally injured during the storm. He says a conversation with a woman before the storm haunts him as it was his last time seeing her alive. He says there are no words to describe the loss Abaco endured.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Jared Higgs.
Stay with us. There's more news out to the break.
Gran, it was good to see you, but we've got to get home.
Yep, we've got to let the dog out.
Speaking of dogs, you won't believe who I saw the other day.
Who?
Honey.
Remember Anton, Jeanette's oldest boy, the one with the dogs?
With local claims managers, we pay your motor claims fast. We're like a goodbye at your granny's that doesn't take 30 minutes.
We really got to get going.
So soon?
CG Atlantic Agents. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
Award signs and engraving, the name says it all. The country's trusted name for trophies, plaques, corporate seals, rubber stamps, badges, bumper stickers, traffic and street signs, keychains, t-shirts, interior signs, restaurant menus, and so much more. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 128 Mount Royal Avenue in Wilton Street. Open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Visit the website at apexawardsbahamas.com. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 1 in the Bahamas.
At Master Technicians, we have what your family traditions need, starting with industry-best refrigerators, ranges, and ovens. We also carry Whirlpool washer and dryers, dishwashers and freezers, leading KitchenAid countertop appliances, blenders, microwaves, juicers, kettles, and KitchenAid stand mixers. We even do free delivery in New Providence or to the boat of your choice. Whether you're doing the laundry, creating new memories in the kitchen, or spending family time in front of the television, Master Technicians Limited, keeping family traditions alive for more than 50 years.
Peanut peddler bust up in sunrise that day and start hollering, "Airy nuts! Airy nuts!" So Bullock say when your nuts that airy, just need one injection in your midsection and that over. Peter say, "Rank!" Today I got dark brown, light brown, light brown, and white. See him here. Bella, as usual, Miss Wallace only did hear the last part of our conversation and get confused right up. She say, "We don't do no colorization and no nuts here. This a watch shop. Carry that freshness someplace else." And now Peter the peanut peddler, he in charge of peanut peddling for the whole of Montrose Avenue.
Sun Isles Watch and Clock, number 112 Montrose Avenue. Watch and clock sales and repairs, and sometimes peanuts too.
Following a recipe or creating something new, find your ingredients at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12-ounce can, $2.39. Best Yet macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4-ounce box, 2 for $1.50. Rainbow tuna, 5-ounce can, 69 cents. Sweet cantaloupes, $1.99 each. Center cut pork chops, $2.59 per pound. Open Monday through Saturdays. Pizza on Sundays. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
When I had got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. That's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank.
How the exercise going? Not too good. What happened? Well, you know Mr. Junior make me one treadmill. Make? You know how he like tinker. Anyhow, he built this treadmill and he hook it up to one of them clothesline, which you could spin. You know the kind what I mean? You made the one what look like the upside down umbrella? That's the one. He figure that since I was working out, I just power up one of them clothesline. So he hook it up direct to the treadmill. Oh, so whilst you walking, clothes spinning. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to you, eh? You know how heavy wet clothes is? But anyhow, I right there struggling to get the treadmill going. Slow. She start to go now. The treadmill going and the clothes spinning. This time now I building up speed. I running now. I running. The clothes spinning. Fast now. You're flying now. Yes, and so was the clothes. You would have thought he had enough sense to screw the thing down, eh? The clothes going? What you gonna do? Go back to Superwash where I should have gone in the first beginning. Superwash. They washes your presses and cleans you 24/7.
Welcome back. It was back to court for Ladera Russell yesterday to face even more fraud charges related to claims she possessed a fake COVID-19 test result. Berthany McDermott has the details.
After spending the night at the Bahamas Department of Corrections, Ladera Russell returned to the magistrate's court to answer to another 70 charges. The 35-year-old was charged with another 40 counts of possession of a forged document. It is alleged that between November 25, 2020 and April 10, 2021, Russell had in her possession forged negative COVID-19 RT-PCR tests from Doctors Hospital and the Premier Clinical Lab. She also faces 30 counts of forgery. Prosecutors allege that between December 14, 2020 and March 20, 2021, with the intent to evade the requirements of the law, Russell had negative COVID-19 RT-PCR tests purporting the same to be genuine. She pleaded not guilty to all charges. On Monday, 40 counts of possession of a forged document. She's expected to face a total of 160 charges. Police say these matters are related to the recent spate of fraudulent COVID-19 test results. In court today, the chief magistrate said it's unfortunate that it's taking so long, but admitted that the court's calendar is full, adding that if she were to continue, then she wouldn't be able to get through the other matters. As there were no objections to bail, Russell was granted bail in the amount of $40,000 with 2 or 3 sureties. She returns to court on Monday. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Berthany McDermott.
That's going to do it for local news. Stay with us. AP News is next.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
I bank wherever I want thanks to Scotia Online and Mobile. I bank from my garden. I bank from my living room. I also bank from my kitchen. No need to wait in line. Now when I bank with Scotia, I bank on my own time. Seniors, you too can bank your way any time of day without ever going into a branch. Find out more. To get started, visit bs.scotiabank.com/digital seniors.
BPC and the government say if oil is found, the Bahamian people will decide what is done with it. But outside of the country, this foreign company is telling its British investors that they have us locked into a production deal that we can't get out of. And they talking about selling oil off the back of a boat? Seriously? More spills? Which story should we believe? Why can't we see the terms of BPC's license? What do they have to hide? Which politicians are benefiting from the oil deal? Sign the petition today at StopBahamasOilDrilling.com. #No drill, no spill.
Give me my pizza right away. Gotta move quick, no time to wait. No long lines inside the place. Little Caesars, I love the taste. Hot and ready. Just come now, you don't have to call, now you don't have to wait. Hot and ready. Large pepperoni, $7.99 every day. Hot and ready. Oh, yeah. Straight out the oven and freshly made. Hot and ready. Little Caesars is hot and ready. Little Caesars is. Get yours now at Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, and now East Street South, Pineapple Plaza. Pizza, pizza.
Don't wait for disaster to strike. This hurricane season, be ready. Protect your home with an affordable and comprehensive home insurance policy from Shield. If nature blows your way, but with Shield Insurance, you can rest easy as you ride out the storm. Protect your largest and most valuable investment. Don't take a chance. Put your home in our hands.
Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau. Call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
What is it, Lumpkin? You ever hear about the Fountain of Youth? I say, of course. But you not been there, right? How you know? He said, nah, man. Listen, I got the tile version of the Fountain of Youth for your house. It's called the Luton Poiler Gloss Ceramic. It's 24 by 24. It's white with gray veining. This tile can make your house look 20 years younger. Not only that, say you only want to do a little room, say like a foyer or a 10 by 10. You could buy enough tiles for that for only $239 before what? The Luton Poiler Gloss Ceramic Tile at Pinder Tile.
Cooking something new or whipping up a family favorite? Great meals start at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Quaker Oats, 18-ounce size, $2.99. Fresh milk, 1 liter, $1.39. First Choice Sugar, 4-pound bag, $2.09. Danish spare ribs, $2.59 per pound. Aberdeen bacon, 12-ounce pack, $3.49. Open Monday through Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Double stamps on Sundays. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
If you're a business owner, get ready because the digital transformation is here. As a business owner, you now face the choice between innovation and extinction, but you don't have to get left behind. Join the click with Cable Bahamas Business Solutions and transform your office to get the competitive advantage. With innovative solutions like our fixed and mobile services, hosted PBX, Bahamas Cloud, and more, you can redefine your business. For more information on how you can join the click, contact the experts at Business Solutions at cablebahamas.com.
The Bahamas Development Bank will be hosting a town hall meeting this Thursday, April 22nd at 5:30 at Anglo. Find out ways to access financing this through loans, leases, and special projects. Also, a special invitation is extended to residents of the Angliston community, as details for a grant made especially for Angliston will be announced. Space is limited, and COVID-19 protocols will be enforced. Visit the Bahamas Development Bank's Facebook page for more information.
This traffic report brought to you by Shield Insurance.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 426. Now at 8:22, time for your another check brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. That severe weather warning extended now to 10 a.m. for Grand Bahama and is now also in effect for North Abaco. Here's what's happening. A severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Grand Bahama and a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for North Abaco. The Department of Meteorology is saying that radar and satellite imagery depicting a cluster of storms from eastwards towards and across the warning areas. The system is associated with the stalled frontal boundary that's located just north of the extreme northwest Bahamas. Some of the thunderstorms will be severe at times, causing strong gusty winds, dangerous lightning, heavy downpours, hail, and possible waterspout or tornado activity. Localized flooding is also possible during these storms. Again, that warning, thunderstorm warning in effect for Grand Bahama, and thunderstorm watch in effect for North Abaco until 10 o'clock this morning. As we said, this is all associated with a stalled frontal boundary just north of the islands, expected to migrate through the extreme northwest Bahamas as a cold front by this afternoon. Elsewhere, a dense plume of Saharan dust will continue to blanket the islands today. For the northwest Bahamas, look for mostly cloudy, hot, and hazy conditions today with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas. Mostly fair and warm with a chance of a few isolated showers tonight. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. For the central and southeast Bahamas today, partly to mostly sunny, hot and hazy, fair and mild tonight. Temperatures getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius today. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 74 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, a series of frontal boundaries expected to push through the northwest and central islands with high pressure building in their wake and supporting moderate to fresh winds across the area. Elsewhere, the Saharan dust is expected to weaken across the area through Thursday. So for tomorrow, Thursday, look for mostly cloudy and breezy conditions with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the northwest Bahamas, variable cloudiness and warm conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas. Friday, partly cloudy and breezy with a chance of a few scattered showers, mainly across the northwest Bahamas. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us. And another check for your traffic for this morning brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. We've got heavy traffic on Smiley Highway, still there, just north of Fire Trail, all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. We've got Gladstone Road, also heavy northbound this morning. Traffic backed up along Tonic Williams Darling Highway as well, westbound heading towards that roundabout with Milo Butler Highway. Elsewhere, the usual spots. We've got Blue Hill Road northbound, just north of Soldier Road. We've got some building traffic on Independence Drive, actually heavy traffic westbound on Independence Drive heading towards that roundabout, and eastbound as well heading towards East-West Highway roundabout. Elsewhere, your usual suspects. We've got pockets along Prince Charles Drive at major intersections like Fox Hill and approaching Beatrice Avenue and Soldier Road, but also Eastern Road, heavy traffic well east of Fox Hill Road. You're going to be seeing that all the way up to practically Montague. I guess it'll be clearing a bit by the time you get to Johnson Road. A little bit after that, looking better. That's heavy. And the intersection of Soldier, Wolf, Bernard, and Village Road, heavy traffic there, mainly in the northbound lanes. That's going to be another hot spot for you this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Well, I thought I felt a tremor. Somebody boiling out earthquake. Some kind of natural disaster. I ball out, no, for goodness sake. Then we heard it coming over the big sound system. Then we heard the warning. Heavy warning. Volcano in the Fed. Water threat. Never hear a thing so yet. It's volcano kicking up. Soon erupt, and you know we're getting hot. Ash in the air, eruption in the Fed. Ash in the air, eruption in the Fed. Ash in the air, eruption in the Fed. Ash in the air.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Toronto with Chester Robart. Sounds a little too festive for what we're going to be talking about, Chester.
No, man.
No, you don't think so?
It's apropos.
Oh, okay. All right. So we are talking about that, the horrible tragedy in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the La Soufriere volcano, and the ash. We've seen the pictures of, it's been devastating for St. Vincent, of course.
Yeah.
But Barbados really, really impacted by this. And we've been seeing reports about the ash being going to impact us here in the Bahamas. To clear that up and to talk about that, we're very pleased to have back with us meteorologist Wayne Neely. He's here, and weather historian Wayne Neely. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us as always.
It's good to be back. It's good, always good to be back home. This is my second home.
Yes, definitely it is. Okay, so we know that what we saw yesterday was Saharan dust, apparently.
Well, there are two thoughts. The department is going with Saharan dust. I'm going with volcanic. There are two. Both of them are out there. I think the dominant weather features the volcanic ash.
Really?
Yeah. Initially, what happened when volcano La Soufriere erupted in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Initially, the plume of ash took it over Barbados, which made it went in an easterly direction.
Right.
And that has changed. Right now, it's going into the Caribbean Sea.
Wow.
And the winds in the upper atmosphere are directing through the Caribbean, and not just the Bahamas, but there'll be Cuba, Jamaica, and those also be impacted. And that's associated with the volcano. And right now, Barbados, as of yesterday, the entire government was shut down. The airport was shut down for most of the, and now the Ministry of Works in Barbados, as of yesterday, I spoke to some people down there. They've now started the cleaning process. So now some government workers going back to work today, and others will go back on Monday of next week.
So it's clearing up there because the wind direction has changed.
Yes, it's changed.
All right. So how bad could it get for the rest of the Caribbean and for the Bahamas?
Well, first, it won't be as bad in Barbados because they were directly impacted and they had significant volcanic ash problems.
Right.
But what you're saying are that the milky white skies, you're going to see red sunset, sunrise and sunsets. That's what you're going to see because that's the particles of the ash in the air.
Right.
And you also have, like you say, you also have Saharan dust, but Saharan dust is not the dominant feature.
Right.
To me, the volcanic ash is.
Isn't it a little early for Saharan dust? Is it?
No, this is typically this is time. Then it normally starts in April, May.
Okay.
And it tends to subside somewhat late July, early August.
Yeah.
It starts to taper off. But most of the Sahara dust comes through the Caribbean from Africa.
Yeah.
And what the Department of Meteorology is saying is that the Sahara dust coming westward through the Atlantic and over Barbados, over the Caribbean, coming into Jamaica, coming into the Bahamas. But there's also the volcanic ash by St. Vincent. The same steering current that takes the steering currents for the volcanic ash is the same steering currents that's going to take it for the Sahara dust.
Right. So it's a mixture? Is that what we're seeing?
A combination, yes.
Yeah.
We don't usually hear much about Saharan dust here. And we hear about, in Trinidad, they talk about it a lot.
Yeah, because I went to school in Barbados, and you can see it very noticeable in Barbados, especially sometimes you can't see the horizon. You can look at the water, you can't see the horizon. It's very milky. And people with respiratory problems for both Sahara dust and volcanic ash, if they have allergies, asthma, they should limit the exposure outside. And here in the Bahamas, we get it as a lesser extent. I do report on it for the last couple of years. I have a private Facebook page and NASA Weather Live and my private Facebook page. Whenever there's Sahara dust, I report it on my Facebook page. So most people who know me now know that they now educate, because when I first posted it, within one day I got like 10,000 hits.
Wow.
Yeah,
because
we have been hearing about it more now.
Yeah, you hear it now. And it's becoming regular now. So most persons who read my posts now, they tend to know about the Sahara dust. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk more about the impacts. You mentioned the respiratory challenges that some folks will
Yes.
have. So, I mean, if you don't have respiratory issues, will you be okay? And then we
Well,
get to
the persons with respiratory, such as asthma, allergy, who have sinuses, allergies, those are the ones who I'm concerned about. And they should limit their exposure outdoors.
Or should
And-
everybody limit their exposure?
Well, some people can, it won't impact some people that much, but people with allergies and asthma and those problems, they're gonna have challenges.
Yeah.
For both systems, whether you say it's Sahara dust or the volcanic ash, whichever one you tend to go with, it doesn't matter to me. But whichever one you decide, it will have the same consequences on the respiratory system of those persons.
My goodness.
But we shouldn't be expecting like ash fall like what we saw in Barbados.
No, because what you saw in Barbados was the plume actually went over Barbados.
Yeah.
It went in an easterly direction and took it easterly.
Right.
And they had it worse than any other island in the Caribbean. And they had this, like I said, the whole government had to shut down.
Right.
The airport was closed for a significant while. And right now they have to clean up.
Right.
And clean up now because the ash is, if you look at, I guess you can see, I have tons of pictures. If you look at them, it really impacted them in a significant way.
Yeah. So how long will we be experiencing this?
Well, that depends. The volcano is still erupting, and that's the challenge, and that's the challenge that most persons face. That's Mother Nature. You can't control. You can't stop the volcano from erupting. That has to be done. That has to be
It's
done.
to play itself out. Kind of thing,
yeah.
So as long as that's going on, we could see this.
Yes, we could see. Yes,
it was very hazy yesterday.
Yes,
so,
it will be hazy today and tomorrow.
Wow.
And the haze is, you'll see milky white. It looks milky. If you look outside, sometimes it looks like it's overcast. That's not the
cloud cover.
That's the particles, that tiny minute dust particles.
Right.
Wow. Could there be any long-term impacts? Will this impact our weather in any way? What can we see as a result of this?
It technically, in theory, it could impact the hurricane season, because once you have Saharan dust or the dust clouds, that will impede the thunderstorms from developing further, which inhibit the growth of thunderstorms, which in turn which would kind of lessen the impact with hurricanes. So that's a possibility.
So that's possibly good.
Yeah,
that is good, definitely.
Yeah, and when I first joined meteorology, I just finished college at the Bahamas, and there was a volcano called Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, and what they did some tests in the Bahamas to find out whether the ash was impacting the Bahamas.
Right.
and they found out that there was ash from that volcano in the Bahamas. That was in 1991.
Oh.
And so the volcanic ash from Lasafuri, that will impact the entire world.
Right, I was hearing that it's impacting India.
Yeah, it is. It was impacting
that's,
India.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
Now, there was a claim going around over the weekend that we could see acid rain as a result of this, the volcanic ash in the air. Is that a possibility at all? And why would we?
No, I don't think that shouldn't be a big problem for the Bahamas.
So people are just trying to scare people to death. It seems.
Yeah. Well, the ash plume. Some people call it sulfur dioxide, which is what the volcano.
Right.
And you could get that.
So acid rain is real, but not so much a threat for the Bahamas.
No.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Yeah.
What's I don't know if you can explain quickly the origin of the Saharan dust and why that occurs.
What happened? Sahara dust originates on the African coast in Sahara. The upper level winds take it off the African coast and into the Atlantic, and the steering currents, which is what I talked about earlier. Right. The steering current takes it westward into the Atlantic and into eventually over the Caribbean and then into our area and the rest of the Caribbean, and that's also the reason why we have easterly waves or tropical waves, because the steering currents, which most weather systems are governed by, take it into the Caribbean and over the Caribbean Sea and over the Bahamas and the Leeward and Windward Islands.
Cheshire, somebody else is saying that they did smell barbecue yesterday, and it wasn't just you.
Okay, good.
Is that? But would that be from? That
I don't know. Is that a thing? Yeah.
I didn't smell any barbecue.
It just smelled like burnt. Like the outside just smelled burnt. Because I exited my house and things smelled like burnt. Yeah. And then I went by my sister and I jumped out the car and it's the same thing. It smelled burnt. Yeah. I don't know if that was a.
Well, I didn't. I have allergies, so I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Just the two of you, I think.
Maybe.
All right, so we don't have much more time with you, but let's talk quickly about the hurricane season, what we're looking at so far.
Yes. Well, as of yesterday, they changed one of the tropical storms to make it hurricane enough. 2020 now has 14 named storms. The hurricane season is they're predicting above average here for two reasons. Right now, the temperatures in the main development region, which is where the hurricanes develop, about 2 degrees Celsius above normal, 2.1 actually. And they also don't expect El Nino conditions to exist over the North Atlantic during this time. What El Nino does, the El Nino event inhibits hurricane formation over the region, because the winds in the upper atmosphere, the upper level winds, make it much stronger. So those thunderstorms that develop basically inhibited from developing because of strong winds. Now, last year they had La Nina, and they're still expecting an increase. They're going for 18 named storms, I think, this year. So this year is going to be above our year. They're going for above year average. But my thing, I don't like when people talk about the hurricane season, about whether you should prepare or not. I think you should prepare. Every hurricane season, you should prepare for a major hurricane, because preparation is the key.
Yeah, definitely. And you were telling us off here about your new book, another book.
Yes, I have Dorian. Dorian should be out hopefully the 1st of June.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So I'm trying to get that finished now.
Looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward. It was my worst book to write, actually.
I'm sure.
There's so much information. So but I'm excited to finally get it out on the market.
Yeah. Boy, and you got to come back to tell us about that.
Definitely will do.
Yeah. Wayne Neely, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being out there. So the bottom line, be careful, especially if you have allergies or respiratory issues. It's a combination of the volcanic ash and Saharan dust that's been impacting us, the hazy skies we've been seeing. So keep that in mind. Another thing for you to worry about in 2021. But Wayne Neely, again, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll tell you about a special concert this weekend to benefit autism awareness. So that's coming up after the break. Stay tuned for that. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll be back.
The best place to get a new iPhone is at BTC. Make the iPhone 12 mini yours for just $199. That's big savings to go with our sweet postpaid value of unlimited local calls, international minutes, roaming data and minutes, plus all the data you need. Stream, share, and stay connected on the best LTE network when you switch to BTC. Visit a store to sign up today and get the iPhone 12 mini for just $199. Conditions apply.
Cash is what we have been using for generations, but it's no longer the only way to pay or receive money. That is great news for business owners. I'm Lasagna Mizik, Managing Director at RBC Royal Bank, encouraging you to find out how going cashless can benefit your business with faster transactions and settlements, better cash flow management, plus reduce risk of theft. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/go cashless. RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes, including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on- and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
Meet Jackie. Jackie's a hard worker with a steady income, but she has a personal loan and multiple credit cards to pay off. To keep her account current, Jackie opted for a loan from Fidelity Bank to consolidate her debt into one monthly payment and earn interest on a built-in savings account. Be like Jackie. Call 356-7764 to book a complimentary financial coaching session. Fidelity also offers virtual assistance. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Roaming just got easier. Say hello to more with our new Liberty Prime plan. With more minutes, more texts, and more data to do the things you love right here at home and even when you travel. With the all-new Liberty Prime, Liberty Premium, and Liberty Elite, you've got one less worry. Roam again. Alive. Believe in best.
Believe in best.
TF Express Delivery, the Uber for items, packages, and goods. It's the Bahamas' most efficient domestic delivery service. We pick up and deliver for businesses and individuals, and we're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for deliveries anywhere in Nassau. TF Express Delivery, the Uber for items, packages, and documents. Call us today at 815-4628 or visit our website, tfxdelivery.com.
There's only one way to have a better morning. How? Start your mornings the best way with our 2 for $6 breakfast sandwiches at Wendy's. For a limited time, choose any 2 of your favorite breakfast sandwiches, including the fresh Strachan sack muffin, honey buttermilk chicken biscuit, double sausage muffin, or the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Wash it all down with our cold brew shake or coffee. Better mornings always start at Wendy's. Wendy's, different inside and out. Excludes airport locations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and carved body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Gran, it was good to see you, but we've got to get home.
Yep, we've got to let the dog out.
Speaking of dogs, you won't believe who I saw the other day.
Who?
Honey.
Remember Anton, Jeanette's oldest boy, the one with the dogs?
With local claims managers, we pay your motor claims fast. We're like a goodbye at your granny's that doesn't take 30 minutes.
We really got to get going.
So soon?
CG Atlantic Agents. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that. Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
Stay a step ahead of technology with certainty and support from Custom Computers.
Our know-how team is here to help you zero in on your next big tech purchase, finding solutions that take your productivity to the next level using only the best and most reliable brands. With 4 stores all across Nassau on East Bay, West Bay, Old Fort Bay, and Palmdale, there's no stopping you from stepping up your tech. Reach out to us at 396-1100. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Cash is what we have been using for generations, but it's no longer the only way to pay or receive money. That is great news for business owners. I'm Lasanya Mizik, Managing Director at RBC Royal Bank, encouraging you to find out how going cashless can benefit your business with faster transactions and settlements, better cash flow management, plus reduced risk of theft. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/go cashless. RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
Imagine. That's where every advancement begins, with an idea that things can be different, better. Now, imagine a world where your entertainment experience was all about you, your style, your show, at your budget. At Rev, that's what we've imagined. To join the conversation and learn more about the future of Rev TV, visit us at rev.bs/imagine.
Roaming just got easier. Say hello to more with our new Liberty Prime plan. With more minutes, more texts, and more data to do the things you love right here at home and even when you travel. With the all-new Liberty Prime, Liberty Premium, and Liberty Elite, you've got one less worry. Roam again. Alive. Believe in best.
Believe in best.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAO, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAO. Growing wealth for future generations.
The Department of Environmental Health Services and the Ministry of Environment is proud to present the Enviro Bahamas app, an app designed to cut down on the wait time of non-collection, swift removal of hazardous items, old furniture, appliances, and the eyesore of community pileup. Skip the call-in hotlines. Get straight to the source. Search Enviro Bahamas in the Google Play Store. Get rid of the crap. Download the app today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning we are talking about autism. April is Autism Awareness Month. And there is a special concert, a benefit concert being held this weekend to raise awareness about autism. Joining us to tell us about Joshua's gift, we are very pleased to welcome to the show. Joining us via Zoom, all the way from California, where it's pretty early at this hour. We've got Misbah Rich. Misbah, good morning. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
You.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Great to have you with us. As you said, it's pretty early where you are, but thank you for being with us this morning.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's my pleasure.
Okay, so tell us about Joshua's Gift. What exactly is the Joshua's Gift Foundation all about?
Joshua's Gift is a foundation that actually supports, provides support, I should say, for the social, mental, emotional, and economic needs of families living with autism. And through direct financial contributions, we provide services for families to have social excursions, training, educational training. We also provide services that allows us to disseminate products in the community to also help the developmental phases of families living with autism. And Joshua's Gift was actually prompted by our son, who was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2.5. And it was, we didn't know what autism was all about or what it meant, but we quickly learned about, the seriousness of the disorder, because it's a developmental disorder that impairs the ability to communicate and interact. And the range and severity of the symptoms can really vary. And so when we started Joshua's Gift, we started it because we wanted to really have an impact on the lives of families that are raising kids with autism, because of our journey as well. And we traveled to the Bahamas just about every other year with our son, and we knew the challenges that were ahead of us, because we knew that his autism is severe, and we knew that it was going to be a challenge socially for him. We knew it was going to be a challenge developmentally for him, and some of the experiences that we had publicly really encouraged us to want to do more for families that are also raising their kids with autism.
Right. Wow.
So that is the genesis. That was the genesis of Joshua's Gift.
Right. And again, how many years has it been now? How long has the foundation been in place?
We're going into our 4th year.
Okay.
In fact, we're going into our 4th year. Yes.
Wow. All right. So let's talk about the concert, what you're hoping to accomplish, and how exactly it's going to work.
So a really good friend of mine approached me who was very engaged in what we were doing and what we have been doing in the autism community, and suggested, hey, why don't you do a benefit concert? Because every year we've done an autism forum here in California, sponsored by Cisco. And we wanted to do something different because we wanted to do something for the families this year. And so we decided to do a benefits concert. And the band that is performing is a pretty renowned band. They're very, very well known, and they're won over 7 Grammy Awards. And we decided, okay, let's go ahead and do this concert. And it is to benefit families living with autism. And there's a lot of families that have to experience the double jeopardy, which is, you're a family of color, Black and brown families. That's the community that we are really targeting right now to support. And so we decided to put on this concert, and it's coming up this Saturday, the 25th, and it starts at 8 p.m. your time in the Bahamas and 5 p.m. here in California. And we're really, really excited. We're excited about the band performing for us, and we're also excited about the auction that we're going to be having as well. And we really want to encourage people to join us. It's virtual. It's you could enjoy it from the comfort of your home, and it is to raise funds as well for families living with autism. And we are really excited about raising funds to also support families that are in the Bahamas. And that's something that I'm really passionate about, because we've gotten a lot of support from sponsors on this end to help the families that we have been supporting here. And we just last week, in fact, gave away to really huge amounts of funds for scholarship awards for families over here living with autism. And during this pandemic era, it's just really been challenging for families living with autism for their kids to do virtual learning.
Oh, yeah.
And we one of the families is a mom of 5 kids. 4 of them have special needs and are on the autism spectrum. And for individuals that are not familiar with autism, it's such a serious challenge. And she wanted just to get more desks in her home because the family only has one table that they all sit around and try to do their virtual classes. And Joshua's Gift stepped in, bought desks for the kids so that they could have separation and hopefully be able to do their virtual learning in a more quiet environment. And so we also provided some funds for them as well to help them put food on the table, to be honest with you. And because the provider in the family had lost his job.
My goodness.
And so those are the things that we do. And also for the concert, it is to raise money, and I'm specifically doing this also to raise funds to support families in the Bahamas.
Excellent stuff. Okay, so how will people help you? How will they be able to contribute to it? How do they get the money to you, and how specifically will it help the families?
They can go to joshuasgift.org and donate, and they can also register for the concert on joshuasgift.org as well. And they can, it'll give them they will have a link to go ahead and register. And that takes them right into the concert the night of. And they can also donate at that time. We have an auction that's already out, and they can again go to joshuasgift.org, and that links them right in to the silent auction if they want to start making purchases of items and what have you. We have some really, really cool stuff. We got Dolphin Cove in Freeport, Bahamas, that's owned by Ken and Sherry Brooks, was so generous to offer up a 3-night stay. And so we're so grateful for that. And we also have another company there whose name I can't mention right now, but they're donating actually iPads for the kids at home, families at home in the Bahamas. We're hoping to actually do a summer camp in the Bahamas, which is going to be new, this summer in June, for families living with autism there. And we're excited about that. And so, people can go to joshuasgift.org and donate, or they also can sign up for the concert this weekend.
Mm-hmm. And how specifically will the families here benefit from this? As you said, there are a lot of families in need. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So for the families that are there in the Bahamas, we're bringing a summer camp to the Bahamas this summer in June, in the month of June, as a matter of fact, and we're still finalizing the details, but we're planning to host this camp for the families that have autism, that are living with autism or have kids with autism. And the goal is really to help these families with help the kids, I should say, with developmental skills. And so the objective is to expose the parents to the skills and activities that their children find difficult doing. We're bringing in an ABA specialist, and most families that are there that are hearing me will know what that is all about. And also we're bringing in a speech pathologist as well. And we are bringing in the experts that are going to be able to conduct and execute this program. And we're gonna also help the students with. We're also going to do like parent-student training as well, so we can help the parents understand the social cues, help parents understand the behavioral challenges that they are facing right now. And Dwight, one of my concerns there is also too that this is an epidemic, and these numbers are not declining. It's 1 in 54 kids that are being diagnosed on a daily basis with autism. And right now, and I'm very in tune with and connected to lots of families that are there in the Bahamas and in Nassau that are living with autism and dealing with autism. And the challenges are just so significant, and these families need help. And right now, it just seems as though the resources are not there for the families, and families shouldn't have to pack it up and come to the United States to get the services that they really should have there in the Bahamas. And we're starting this camp and hoping that we could help enhance like just motor skills development, gross gross motor skill development, that these kids need to have speech and language development, behavioral therapy for these students and for these kids, because it's not going away. It's increasing, and it just seems as though autism is like this invisible, this invisible disorder that a lot of people are unaware of or choose to be unaware of, and it's a disorder that really impacts a child's nervous system. It impacts a child's development, and I just feel like if we have the resources to help educate, it could really transform these kids' lives, and even with the support that they need, it could help also reduce some of the symptoms of autism, and they need it. They need it desperately in the Bahamas.
All hands need to be on deck, definitely. All right, so we only have about 30 seconds left. Again, the concert is Saturday. The group by Ghost Note, I think that's who it is, right?
Yes,
Will be performing.
Yes, Ghost Note.
And and again, tell us the time and the website to register.
It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The website is joshuasgift.org. Go register. I want the Bahamas to come out in numbers. I really need you guys to be there, because lots of the proceeds are coming back into the community there.
All right. This is great stuff. Thank you so much. Again, joshuasgift.org for all the details. And Mispa, thank you so much. Mispa Rich, thank you so much for talking with us this morning.
Thank you. Oh, and Dwight, one more thing really quickly. There's a young Bahamian artist who is a brilliant songwriter. Her name is Keita LaShawn Sands. And she wrote a song for the autism community, and we're actually debuting that at the concert this Saturday. Okay. So it'd be great for Bahamians to show up in numbers and support.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. Wonderful. Looking forward to it. Thank you again.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Again, it's the Joshua's Gift Benefit Concert this Saturday. And joshuasgift.org for all the details and to register there. All right. We're going to break.
Thank you.
When we come back, Morning Blend Business, we're talking about COVID and the tourism sector. Where do we go with this rising? What's next? Stay with us.
We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is the Guardian News Network update on the hour. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is set to give a COVID communication in Parliament today, where he's expected to outline his government's plan for beating back this third wave of the COVID pandemic. Advisor in the office of the Prime Minister, Dr. Merceline Dalregis, yesterday said that they suspect the current spike in infections is being driven by international travel and relaxed adherence to COVID protocol. She has recommended more COVID testing, enhanced contact tracing, and even vaccinations to help get this outbreak under control. Monthly COVID infections in this country have almost doubled from 336 in January to more than 620 already this month. Well, 21,907 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine have been administered in country to date, and beginning Monday, residents of more family islands will have access to the shot. Dr. Dal Regis indicated that vaccinations will begin on Andros, Mayaguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, Acklins, Long Key, Andros, Rigan Island, and mainland Exuma on Monday. The vaccine rollout will begin in the Berry Islands, Great Harbour Key, Can Island, San Salvador, Long Island, Exuma Keys, and Rum Key as of Tuesday. It'll move to Eleuthera on Wednesday and Bimini on Friday. The vaccine will also now be administered to all residents 18 and older with a Bahamian government-issued ID. And despite concerns over new COVID infections in public schools in New Providence, Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd says the ministry with a hybrid system, alternating virtual and in-person classes. He said that decision followed a recommendation from health officials. The surveillance unit has confirmed 5 cases of positive COVID tests at New Providence schools in the last 2 weeks. That's what's making headlines at this hour. Stay with us. AP Update is next.
Hello, sir. Your credit card bill is due. Hello, sir. It's time for your monthly loan payment. Tired of creditors pounding at your door? Sign up for a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank and consolidate your debt into one low monthly payment. What's more, you'll also earn interest on a built-in savings account. The pandemic has curbed many freedoms, but at Fidelity, our focus is to help regain your financial freedom. Go to Fidelity Bank at 356-7764. COVID safety measures in place at all branches. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood. We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal. So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time. This traffic report brought to you by Shields.
Getting a final look at traffic now as we get closer to the 9 o'clock hour. We see more of the morning commute in the streets and lots more of the thoroughfares that are slowing down. Eastern Road traffic building up over the past half hour or so, and still some challenges over there for everyone to be cleared out of that thoroughfare. Really got busy at the Soldier Road, Wolf and Burnett Road intersection. We got hefty traffic lines on all sides and still simmering actually in an attempt to clear that area up. Soldier Road, a main access crossway on the southern side, is staying busy, especially from the Abundant Life traffic light intersection and onto the Old Trail area. And the southwest gateways, it's a given. Busy traffic still leaving out of Gladstone Road, and there's busy traffic slowly getting out of Carmichael onto Blue Hill Road intersection. It's also getting over the hill at Blue Hill Road onto the Tony Swilliam Dolly roundabout below. That roundabout congested with traffic coming off Independence Drive. Independence Drive itself stacked also on the east end getting into East Street. The talk of the morning, though, still has to be some Walla Highway, those northbound lanes. Wow, lots of traffic passes through there. And even with police assistance this morning on that exit to Tony Swilliam Dolly roundabout, that thoroughfare had heavy traffic lines getting out over pretty soon. It was getting out there now are the remnants of the heavy morning commute. The holdups you've been experiencing along Tony Swilliam Dolly Highway is only because some Walla Highway has been getting an even flow break for their traffic getting out of there as well. Overall, the wait time has been much improved in that area. This National Traffic Report is service of J.S. Johnson, the only insurance agents and brokers giving you peace of mind in the Bahamas for over 100 years. At jsjohnson.com, you can pay premiums, renew policies at any branch office, pay it your own way. Call J.S. Johnson at 397-2100 for more info. Get the Rider's Guide look at traffic in real time. I'm VANN.
I'm Rita Foley with an AP News Minute. Reaction across the nation to the guilty verdicts in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. A crowd heard there on KSTP TV in Minneapolis. Former police officer Derek Chauvin faces decades in prison in 2 months in the death of George Floyd. The AP's Sagar Magani with more reaction to the murder trial seen here and around the world.
Today, we are able to breathe again.
Brother Philonis Floyd cried
at the White House.
It was a murder in the full light of day, and it ripped the blinders off for the whole world to see.
President Biden saying the nation has a long way to go in defeating systemic racism. It must always remember the words, "I can't breathe."
We must not turn away. We can't turn away.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
And I'm Rita Foley.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, Chester Robarts with me this morning. Today we are talking about tourism and these rising COVID numbers in the country, with so much happening in the last few days, with the CDC bumping us up to level 4, travel advisory, with the Ministry of Health professionals warning that we are seeing a third wave, with health officials claiming that it's international travel and relaxed adherence to protocols causing this surge. And where does that leave us? What does that mean as we go forward, as we ramp up again in the country? Where does that put us? We're going to be talking about all of that this morning. But first, it's time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. In your morning business report, business owners are anxious as health officials acknowledge that the Bahamas is in its third wave of COVID-19 infections. That's according to Chief Executive Officer of the Fidelity Group, Godwin Bo. Bo made the statement during an appearance on Guardian Radio's Z Live with the Zhivargo Lang yesterday. Said that while the third wave is not a death knell for businesses, there is a need to get out of it by returning to the pandemic protocols that helped to reduce numbers before. He said that while most business people had already stretched their resources thin last year, they would rather increase their own restrictions than have government impose theirs. Read more about his comments in today's Guardian Business section. Meanwhile, with a number of new COVID cases increasing, businessman Robert Myers says that the business community, from his perspective, would be willing to suffer through a short period of hard times again to get the country back on track to lower numbers. Minister of Health, Remember Wells, says that while there are no new restrictions to announce at this time, that does not mean that there may not be, adding that the government is deploying measures that would have assisted us to get through the second wave. Speaking of the possibility of new lockdowns, Myers says, quote, "We can't be a country based on safe tourism and travel if we're not going to be responsible inside. And the only way to get the economy going again is to get this thing under control." Read more of his comments in today's Guardian Business section. The Bahamas' financial services sector falling 4 spots in the Global Financial Centers Index, 29, falling to 73, even though this jurisdiction improved upon its rating from last year by 1 point to land at 591. The GFCI is published each year by Yen Partners in collaboration with the China Development Institute and is considered one of the world's most authoritative comparisons of the competitiveness of the world's leading financial centers. Regionally, the Bahamas placed 6th behind British Virgin Islands, Barbados, Chile, Mexico, and the Cayman Islands. 9 centers rose in the ratings in Latin America and the Caribbean after significant falls in the GFCI 28. The average rating in the region rose 11.2 points. The British Virgin Islands, Barbados, and Santiago in Chile gained more than 10 places in the rankings. Trinidad and Tobago and Bogota entered the index ranking at 97th and 100th, respectively. As it relates to FinTech globally, down 13 spots from last year and receiving a 40-point improvement in its FinTech rating to land at 550 this year. Read more about all of this in today's Guardian Business section. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center's most recent standalone grant program pumped more than $500,000 into 129 small businesses. This third round of grants totaled $569,000 and brings the amount given to small businesses over the life of the program to $2.3 million across 549 businesses. And Charlie's Philly Steaks opening its second flagship location at the Solomon Supercenter on Old Trail Road. Minister of State for Finance Kwesi Thompson bringing remarks at the opening yesterday lauded the owners for supporting their employees and continuing to grow amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Thompson says Charlie's franchise owners Samuel and Tanya Bethel were able to keep the business afloat last year with the help of a business continuity loan through the Access Accelerator. And again, you can read more in today's Guardian Business section. Overseas, households in Britain, especially poorer ones, are far more likely to have suffered a severe income shock during the coronavirus pandemic over the past year than their counterparts in France and Germany. That's according to a well-respected British-based think tank, the Resolution Foundation, saying today that households in the UK are also more likely to run up more debt in response to the financial shockwaves emanating from the pandemic. In a report which was entitled Aftershocks and supported by the U.S. investment bank J.P. Morgan Chase, researchers said typical household incomes in the UK, France, and Germany were broadly similar in the year before the pandemic, but that higher levels of inequality and a weaker safety net meant the poorest fifth of British households entered the crisis in a weaker financial position. The report found that among households in which at least one person had fallen out of work, 41% of British households had suffered a severe income fall of at least 25%, substantially recorded in France, and 28% in Germany. It also found that 33% of British households have cut back their spending, more than the 23% recorded in France and 21% in Germany. The report also found that British households with an income hit were also twice as likely to have taken on more debt during the pandemic to cover living expenses than German and French households. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market movers. Benchmark moving 1,000 shares, closing unchanged at 146. Cable Bahamas moving 1,000, up 24 cents to 349. Consolidated Water down 2 cents to 259. Emira Incorporated up 14 cents, closing at 1142. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 1,947.80, down 10.84. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. You're listening to Morning Blend Business, brought to you in part by Cash and Go. Need cash now? Then choose Cash and Go. In 48 hours or less, you could have up to $5,000 with Cash and Go and Cash Now. Apply in their app or at cashandgobahamas.com. Cash and Go.
invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details, or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us a draw. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and junk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Cash and go. Pay all your bills and cash and go. Send your money from cash and go. Tap up your minutes. Cash and go. Pay insurance and cash and go.
All merchants can take advantage of our payroll feature. Pay your staff directly with Cash and Go Merchant Portal.
You can do it at cash and go. Pay all your bills and cash and go. Tap up your minutes. Cash and go. Pay insurance and cash and go. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a cash and go.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Come on. Yeah. Gotta do it. Go back to the island, boy. Let's go. Wake up early one morning, kiss my mama goodbye. Going back to the island, I say, don't worry, mama, don't cry.
I'll be leaving on the Alice Mabel. I sure hope that she's still able. So this evening round 5 o'clock, I'll stand at her bow and see the dock. Out in the field from dawn till dusk, swimming in the brook, that island where I was born. The first thing I'll do is roast some corn.
Wake up early one morning, kiss my mama goodbye. Going back to the island, I say, don't worry, mama, don't cry.
We are back here with Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday morning. Dwight Strong along with Chester Robards. And this morning we are talking about where we are with the numbers rising just as we're getting back on our feet with the tourism sector. Things are opening again. People have their dates planned.
Yeah.
And opportunities that we never had before, like home porting, are becoming a real thing. Mm-hmm. But do we need a change in order to arrest these surging numbers? The numbers for last month double what we saw in the previous 2 months, and already at this point we are where we were at the end of March here in April. So something is up, and there's a lot of blame to go around, as we see the health officials yesterday saying it's lack of adherence to the protocols. We hear in the news, though, people have been doing some foolishness as well with fake tests and all this stuff, so people aren't being honest. There are a lot of reasons why we're seeing this. But what do we do at this point? Is it enough to say, well, we just need to increase contact tracing and follow the protocols and wash your hands and socially distance and 6 feet apart and that's going to be okay? Is it enough, or unfortunately, are we going to have to take some drastic measures like move the curfew up, or worse, lock some things down again? That's what we're going to talk about this morning. What do we do as we adjust reopening and getting people back into the country? Where do we go from here? That's the question today, and we're going to seek to answer that. We've got a lot to talk about, lots of articles in the paper today. Gowan Bow with Fidelity Group saying how business owners are anxious about the third wave, but we've got Robert Myers, a businessman, saying that businesses are willing to endure the restrictions. I don't know which businesses, right, and for how long. He says for a short while, but is that too long even, just as we get back on our feet?
And as Gowan was saying yesterday, is it more that the businesses are willing to tighten their own restrictions? Are the restaurants that are serving outdoors, are they willing to reduce the capacity a little more? They're seating a little more on the outdoors because of this announcement of a third wave.
Right, and control those numbers of people coming in, because you mentioned it earlier in the show about people at the table, but they're not living in the same household, and they're relatively close to each other, some sharing the same drink sometimes, and acting like it is 2018 or something. But are they going to say, nope, we don't think you all are in the same party or should be, and are we willing to turn down money for the sake of safety?
Especially after such a long year last year.
Right.
Are more people going to, again, join the creative and join things like the Craven delivery app? I see a lot of restaurants coming on the app, but I'm kind of surprised that there aren't more restaurants trying this thing out.
Yeah.
So you also see, even in the midst of the pandemic, new restaurants opening. We got Charlie's Philly Cheesesteak opening another location. What was the other place down by Bahama that used to be there? Johnny Canoe?
Right, yes.
They've opened up and they opened up to the outdoors. So they opened up in the midst of the pandemic and had to pitch tents really in front of their establishment.
All right, so what we want to do, I want you to listen. Our Jasmine Brown is in Exuma and has been talking to folks down there, talking to visitors, people getting their reaction to what's happening, and trying to get their reaction as to what it is like traveling at this time. And you will hear not many people seem to be afraid at all. So are some folks overreacting? Take a listen to this report from Jasmine Brown.
From couples trips to birthday celebrations and even a wedding, visitors are flocking to Exuma. They are choosing to travel that typically occurs once in a lifetime. Their primary reason for traveling was what they deemed a low COVID case count.
I've come to the Bahamas. I think this is like my 7th trip, and I've always felt like it was a super secure place to be. So you guys are doing it right here.
I feel like a lot of the regulations here are similar to what we're dealing with back in the States, and everybody abided by them pretty well. So I felt safe here.
These American visitors are in the Bahamas as the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention moved the country back up to level 4 and advised travelers to avoid all travel to the Bahamas. This comes as COVID-19 cases continue to increase. So far this month, there have already been more than 560 cases. While the increase in numbers has residents worried, this visitor from Chicago says Bahamians need to count their blessings.
We would not have gone to a place that we thought was threatening. I mean, I think the statistics that we've read are just amazing how low the virus count is. And from traveling to a lot of international places since the pandemic, many Caribbean islands are doing a lot. And I would say that specifically the Bahamas seem to be doing more than most.
To clamp down on the spread of COVID-19, the Minutes administration has implemented travel requirements like a travel visa. While some call the process tedious, others say it felt like an added level of protection from COVID-19.
The process of getting tested
really here was a lot easier than it was in the States.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
it
great.
was a lot easier.
Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Okay, so you're hearing that there. That's encouraging and positive. So what do we do hearing that? What do we do? Is it time to talk? That's to talk about restrictions. The Minister of Health is saying that they don't have that in mind right now, but of course there is what's being called a COVID what's it, contribution? That's what, in the House today. The Prime Minister,
yes.
A COVID
contribution today,
Okay, yeah, that's happening today, and what will we hear? What will we hear? Robert Myers telling Guardian Business that from his perspective, businesses would be willing to suffer through a short period of hard times again to get the country back on track to lower numbers. That's very odd. He says, quote, "We can't be a country based on safe tourism and travel if we're not going to be responsible inside. And the only way to get the economy going again is to get this thing under control. I think it's critical. Obviously, are we in business happy about that? No, we are not. We've already had enough hardship. But I think the only answer is that we have a healthcare system that we have to support, and we have health and safety on the citizenry and our employees and even ourselves. We have to keep safe. If we have to go to those levels, then we have to go to those levels. They know the data. We don't know the data." Myers is also the head of the Organization for Responsible Governance, says the government should be proactive and establish a benchmark by which it can determine at which point certain restrictive measures are necessary. And he's certainly not the only person calling for that.
Right.
Many have been saying that for a while now. You want to say, I was asking for this from the beginning. What is that matrix? If you let the numbers get to X, then you know it enforces the curfew and trying to shut things down gradually, as opposed to having to do a complete shutdown. Curbside and curfews are the first and most obvious. It keeps the social distancing pressures on and the separation pressures on, and then you move into more draconian measures, I guess. But if you never have to go back to those harsh levels, if you can maintain COVID-19, you can get ahead of it, be more proactive, and close down earlier, then you don't have to get to such dire consequences.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the thing is, what the private sector is saying is, look, give us a chance, or what they should be saying directly is, give us a chance to see what we can do to help curb this third wave before the government steps in and drops the heavy hand, right? So, could some businesses, again, like restaurants, say, look, no more tables of 6 and 7, only 4. Don't come with a party bigger than 4. And then reduce the size of the outdoor seating again, because some tables aren't 6 feet apart from each other, or however that people need to be.
Yeah.
And they're laughing and having a good old time and spreading things in the air. So, are those the things that businesses are willing to do?
Yeah. All right. Let's hear what you have to say about it, folks. What should be the response from the business community to this, with this always looming and out of sometimes nowhere, because some of the numbers we see, as Robert Myers mentioned, sometimes they trigger shutdowns and curfew changes and lockdowns, and other times it's fine. We'll power through it. What is that all about? But what should be the response? 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. And all of this is happening as the vaccines are here, which is interesting. And there's more discussion about whether this needs to be more widespread, requiring people, especially employees, to take the vaccine. Should that be what's happening here? We've got the Tribune reporting on this. Carrie Fountain with the Action Board saying that the Haman's going to step up to the plate and get it done. Get it done. Get the vaccine as we try to get over this major bump in our economy.
And the Bahamas need to get some more vaccine. Wow. That's the next plate we need to reach.
Boy. All right. And let's hear what you have to say, and then we'll get further into this. There's a lot more to talk about, but let's get the calls. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend Business.
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
Until the data can specify and show through contact
tracing which areas of society that these cases are coming from. You know, to have the entire country going into a mode of, I know the business community, responding to it, you know, in a frantic manner. And it may not be the areas. I mean, I heard your guest saying about what the restaurants, but are we aware, or is there some data to suggest that it's coming from the? You know what I think I'm understanding as a business owner is that because we open as a country and travel is happening, you know, most of these cases may be coming through that particular venue, and you know, other businesses domestically may not be, you know, the areas where these things are being transmitted from. And then you have a total lockdown on the country that is going to impact them negatively. You know, we have to look at where these things are being specifically coming from.
Yeah, definitely.
You see?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
But the thing is, the thing about it is, if people are coming in with it, they're still going to restaurants.
Yeah.
If it's coming from a foreigner who's coming in to enjoy the country, they're still out and about. They're still meeting people. They're still interacting with people.
And those people go to restaurants too.
Right.
So it's everything, right? So that's why everybody has to follow the rules.
But let's be honest, as we've moved around as well, we've seen the protocols kind of diminish. In the stringent protocols we've seen before, you know, people giving you hand sanitizer at the store door. Everybody isn't doing that as much as they used to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. People used to scream at you, "Hey, sanitize," and it's not really happening as much anymore.
Yeah,
you know, maybe people have kind of just, you know,
they are getting
just
tired.
Getting tired, and
they definitely are.
A lot. Some places don't check your temperature, even though that's still up in the air whether or not that made any sense in the first place.
Didn't make much of a difference
to
at
be
all.
To be shooting your arm,
right?
with a,
and they don't look. They don't look at the temperature.
Right.
They often don't. All right. More calls. 323-623-254316. 325-4259. This text here: if the numbers continue to increase, the innocent will have to suffer for the guilty. We are very quick to say that.
Wait, what does that even mean? Who's guilty? Some people don't even know when they get a little COVID up their nose, you know, interacting wherever they interact, however they interact.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend Business.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Doing?
All right. I know you have a very responsible man at the helm early in the morning, in the person of my good brother here, Dwight. Am I right?
Yes.
So I'd like to think, yes.
Come on now, you got to keep the faith, brother. A question: Is there a charge, a cost, to take the vaccine?
There is not.
There is not. Okay. I am going to be 51 in June. Is there now time for my age bracket to take the vaccine? See, I'm asking the question because I want to take the vaccine. I hear everything, the good and the bad.
It's long been time.
But you know what? I am ready to take the vaccine. My mother took it. My brother took it. If my close relatives have taken it, then I'm going to follow them. Because whether we live or we die, we live with Christ or we die with Christ. It's straight across the board. See, Amos Junior Miller, straightforward. Okay? I just need to know where can I go and when can I go to take my vaccine. I want to be responsible for my children. There are talks out there saying my body has its own natural defense. I know all of that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I need to know where can I go to take the vaccine, especially because it's free. Now, but I need them to drop the price on these testing because the testing can't cost so much money in this hard time and the vaccine free. So I'm straightforward. But I am with one more other thing I want to say before you let me go. I prefer to see this government at the helm at this time, in this global pandemic medical situation, than the other guy.
Okay, well, that's not necessary to talk about right now. But yeah, I'm Amos. You can get the vaccine in many places offering it.
Go online, register.
Right?
They'll
Yeah.
tell you where you can go.
Yep.
And there you go.
And some places you can walk into, but yeah, there are many options. Just Google and you can get it. There's different sites now, but yeah, it's been the people in their 20s who've received the vaccine. I don't know what happened, but they have. It's been happening
Because they've opened it
It's
up
opened
to certain things.
So
You know,
if
maybe
you
school
want it-
teachers or
yes,
doctors, nurses.
many people on the front lines that need it. So if you want it, you can get it. There's no excuse. No excuse. All right, so we're back on track. Let's we're talking about businesses and what should be the response to the surging numbers. As you said, Chester, the can we do this on our own? Enforce the protocols at our establishments without it having to get to the point where we're all waiting to hear my fellow Bahamians and residents.
Right.
And right. So what needs to happen for that? Do these businesses need to take it upon themselves and start closing earlier?
Right.
What is supposed to happen here? And we want to hear from you on that. Okay, now this is interesting. I've been traveling, and many restaurants in the States are still operating under tents. I spent a very cold Thanksgiving having dinner under a tent, but that made the experience even better. Okay, I don't know if that... Well, okay. When the campaigning stops, the people will follow the protocols more tightly. Why is that the health officials never mentioned that as an issue? Well, they're talking about everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's right to... I don't, it seems like they do, based on the number of calls we received today, that people have to be very specific with all the things that you shouldn't do. So I guess they will have to start mentioning that, because if you don't mention that, people will say, well, that must be fine.
Well,
I didn't think that's how the world works.
They were pressed on it, not this, but the last
last president, and they said it.
And
It was said. But that everything, gathering in groups and not socially distanced, you're putting yourself at risk. So if you are doing that all in the same color shirt together, yeah, that means that too.
Yeah.
But apparently you have to say it. You have to come out and say it. And that means campaigning. Okay. It means campaigning. All right, here are some text messages. Dwight, we as Bahamians aren't focused. I went to a conch place out west, and I think other than me and guys making the salads, we were the only ones wearing masks. Then went to Arawak Key, and again, as soon as the people pass the police at the gate, I mean, one step away, they take off the mask, and no one or very few masks are worn beyond the police. Yes, but the testing needs to be free, sure. Do you know if the country will import the American-approved vaccines? The health minister was asked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
He said, they
They're
are
trying to
still
get
looking
Pfizer.
for Pfizer.
Yeah.
And hoping to get their freezers in, which
They said
aren't
they
in
have-
yet.
they said
I think we'll play that report when we get back from
Yeah.
the break. But he said that they don't have that ready as yet, but they're hoping to. They will. Will that make a difference to anybody, as opposed to what we have?
Well, like I told you, if you're scared of the side effects, well, Pfizer has them too, and I have some friends in the U.S. who got Pfizer and got knocked down for 24 hours because of it. But they were fine after that.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back with more of your messages as we continue to talk about what now for the business sector as we enter the third wave of COVID. Can we self-correct before being forced to, like children, be told what to do again? We didn't like that bitter pill, but it seems like we are heading in that direction again. Does it have to come to that? That's what we're asking this morning. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Going back to the island, I say, don't worry, mama, don't cry. I'll be leaving on the Alice boat. I sure hope that she's still able. So this evening round 5 o'clock, I'll stand at her bow and see the dock. Out in the field from dawn till dusk, swimming in the blue pool is a must. That island where I was
You
born.
invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAO, growing wealth for future generations.
For the past 33 years, Great Commission Ministries has been defending the poor and hurting, feeding the hungry, and sheltering the homeless. We invite you to support our Live to Give program and make a difference in these challenging times. Become a donor by giving a one-time annual gift or a monthly donation of $50 or $100. Call Great Commission Ministries at 325-5801 for more details, or visit our headquarters at 237 Wolf Road. Join Live to Give today. This public service announcement is proudly sponsored by this radio station.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking about everything, This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and drunk,
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there,
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Croc Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Cash and go. Pay all your bills and cash and go. Send your money from cash and go. Top up your minutes. Cash and go. Pay insurance and cash and go.
All merchants can take advantage of our payroll feature directly with Cash and Go Merchant Portal.
You can do it at cash and go. Pay all your bills and cash and go. Send your money from cash and go. Top up your minutes. Cash and go. Pay insurance and cash and go. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a cash and go.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
And your final look at weather for this morning. Here's what's happening. That severe thunderstorm warning for Grand Bahama and severe thunderstorm watch for Abaco, still for North Abaco, still in effect at this hour till at least 10 o'clock this morning. And the Department of Meteorology reporting that radar and satellite imagery depicting a cluster of showers and embedded thunderstorms moving eastwards across these areas. The system associated with the stalled frontal boundary located just north of the extreme northwest Bahamas. Thunderstorms expected to be severe at times, causing strong gusty winds and dangerous lightning, heavy downpours, hail, and possible waterspout or tornado activity. Localized flooding also possible during these storms. Again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Grand Bahama and a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for North Abaco until at least 10 o'clock this morning. As we said, it's all part of a stalled frontal boundary that's expected to migrate north of the extreme northwest Bahamas today as a cold front. Will migrate through it at least as a cold front by this afternoon. Elsewhere, a dense plume of Saharan dust will blanket the rest of the country. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, look for mostly cloudy, hot, and hazy conditions with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas. Mostly fair and warm. Dwight, some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms severe at times. For the central southeast Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny, hot, and hazy, fair and mild tonight. Look for high temperatures getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 74 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, a series of frontal boundaries expected to push through the northwest and central islands with high pressure building behind them, supporting moderate to fresh winds across the area. Elsewhere, the Saharan dust is expected to weaken across the area through Thursday. So for tomorrow, Thursday, look for Mostly cloudy and breezy conditions with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the northwest Bahamas. Variably cloudy and warm in the central and southeast Bahamas. Friday, partly cloudy and breezy with the chance of a few scattered showers, mainly across the northwest Bahamas. That's your morning blend weather check.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Go back to the island, boy. Let's go. Wake up early one morning, kiss my mama goodbye. Going back to the island, I say, don't worry, mama, don't cry.
And we're back with Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday morning. We are talking about the rising COVID numbers and business. Are we are we ready to have a serious conversation about what's supposed to happen? Do we need to? Are we heading in that direction that we need to look at lockdowns and adjusting the curfew again? Or can we handle this on our own responsibly without the government intervening? We are waiting to hear from the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health today in the House of Assembly to hear what they have to say about all of this. But what should be the response from the business community? That's the question that we're asking today on Morning Blend Business. All right, so people are asking about it, about the other vaccines that are available. I know the Minister of Health talked about it yesterday. Take a listen to this report from our Kyle Joaquin.
From this minister's perspective, and as I've been informed by the Prime Minister, at this stage, there's no intent of the government to move in that direction.
Amid growing concerns over how the government would combat this third wave of COVID-19 cases, the health minister says a lockdown or any other tightening of restrictions is not on the table at this time. However, he said something has to be done. For now, he said the plan is to follow what was done in the second wave.
There are no other restrictions at this point in time. As I would have said previously, that does not mean that there may not be, because the response in regards to any sort of restrictions and even just a change in the curfew time frame would be a change in the existing protocol.
April's number of confirmed COVID-19 cases has already surpassed the number recorded in March, which Wells says appears to be linked to the Easter holiday. He added that there has been a series of meetings with health officials and the Prime Minister on the way forward. But as for what
in the past, we are aggressively contact tracing, as we always have been. We may beef up the contact tracing a little bit more. We are testing. We have the bed space. We have the ventilators. We have the therapeutics, remdesivir. And we have, during this third wave, something we didn't have during the second wave. We have what most folks consider to be a cure for what ails us, which is the vaccine.
Wells says over 20,000 Bahamians have gotten their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, and he says plans are in motion to get the Pfizer vaccine as soon as is available to the country.
We do have ultra-low temperature storage in the Bahamas in the private sector. The government expected that we would have already had the freezers. We're expecting them here very, very soon, and we will be in a position from the government side to house them, but from a national standpoint to house Pfizer vaccine.
But the issue remains the increase in cases. Consultant Physician Staff Association President Dr. Sabrika Pindler-Butler has said the country is set up for disaster and said the rise in cases needs to be addressed urgently. We asked the health minister about that today.
The CPSA in September gave us their recommendations. I have the recommendations in my bag. I've read through them. The Ministry of Health professionals, of which persons who are part of the CPSA are in the Ministry of Health. Okay, so their views, their values are being taken into consideration.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Okay. Yeah.
The private sector has the ultra low storage in the private sector.
Right.
So,
but still no Pfizer.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And we don't know when that's going to happen.
Right. All right. So, you heard no plans as of yesterday to increase the curfew or reduce or open, whatever, move the curfew to have any lockdowns.
Or change the current measures that we have in place.
Mm-hmm. So it is really going to be up to us.
Yeah.
Let's hear from you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. I know people were saying that they were concerned. Yesterday we got some messages, people concerned about the number of people back in offices, even though it was proven last year how people can work from home. That it is possible. It is capable. We are capable of doing it, and it worked well enough. Why have everybody rush back to the office? What's the reason?
Culture. Must be a cultural thing.
Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning. My name is Daphne Miolis from the Aberconime Farm
Hi, good
in
morning.
Marsh Harbor. How are you today?
Doing well. Good morning.
Great. I'm calling about you're asking for the business community to respond to this issue of the lockdown and curfews. And, you know, as a business owner, what I have to say is that every single citizen, every single resident, I should say, needs to really take part in how our country moves forward. Yeah. We are all looking to the government to do the right thing, but it starts with us. We are the government, okay? If we don't do the right thing, we don't follow the protocols, and we don't take every possible measure, our country, which is so small and easy, should be easy to manage, and dependent on tourism, we have a serious responsibility to doing the right thing, not just for our own public health, but for our economic, growth and recovery. As you know, in Abaco, we're recovering from, many hurdles. The hurricane, everybody's, been hearing all about the hurricane.
Yes.
And then now, of course, the pandemic. The real reason for my call from Aberconime is to suggest what we have been suggesting and what we would have hoped our, Ministry of Health would even endorse is a homegrown, locally grown 28-year-old neem farm that produces one of the highest quality oils in the world. And for those who don't know, neem is a very important antiviral and immune support. Those are the two major things that will help to prevent the virus. The vaccine is great, but it is not the answer. It has to be renewed on who knows when, every 6 months. You still have to follow the protocols and support your immune system and possible prevention.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for calling. Hope people are listening. Aberconime, definitely.
And I just want to, if I would just, because you mentioned earlier about the nostrils, okay? One of people are wearing their mask, covering their mouth, but it does not always cover their nose. And as you pointed out, the first point of entry in the body for this airborne virus, we are suggesting that the public use neem oil, 1 drop to coat the inside of their nostrils as the very best prevention to attack the virus at that point of entry. And if anybody wants to have more information on this, they can go to our website, aberconime.com. They can call our business number, which goes straight through to my cell phone. And, we just want to stress that we started this company 29 years ago to help contribute to the healthcare of the country. And here it is. We do have a very viable preventative product that everyone should be looking at. It's safe. It is homegrown. It is there's no negative contraindication to it. And there's very little risk. So I appreciate this time, and I hope that the message of every individual having to take their own responsibility stop always
Yeah,
looking to
very
the
important.
government.
Very
Okay.
important. Thank you very
But
much.
my
We've got to have
business-
you back on the for a full show to talk about your product. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling. All right. This message as we go to the break, as we break for today, this person says they're forcing staff back to the office because these old-timey bosses want to see you instead of use technology to measure the work done. And that's really unfortunate. We would have thought that after last year, people would have learned.
Nope.
But that's very, very sad.
They still need you to sit in their laps.
We are still in the middle of this thing,
Yep.
right? And it's not over yet. They've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And you can't go back so quickly. That was supposed to be a mind shift, mindset changer.
Good luck.
Can't go back to your old ways after 2020. Boy. Anyway, Chester Robards, thank you so much for being here with us
Always
this
a pleasure.
morning. We'll continue to watch this, of course. We'll see what happens today and see where we go from here. But as you heard, the caller said, as we've been saying, it is up to us. Can't always wait on the government. We have to take proactive steps here to ensure that we don't end up back where we were this time last year. All right, everybody, that's it. Chester, thank you. See you next week. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend Business here right after Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Wake up.